that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay. Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still to the sauce with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof I'm alive by the motor. No proof. Like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, independent, I never ever traded. You know what is a star like in the city of the drive? I was like flies, which are large, so many more, 10 in the morning. 8, 10 in the morning, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but something to me. Hands up as ever, and cute as can be. You can watch on YouTube with me and some friends. This one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time, wonder what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
The great Tommy Hutton. No quibble. It's a no quibble Friday, Tommy. Yeah. Morning, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. We've traded in Vice Shirt Friday for Hoodie Friday because it's cold. I'm too cold for a Vice shirt today.
Ice shirt. That's what I call it.
Yeah, dude. That's a point, Frog Boy, out of the gate.
I was
oh, what a start.
Outside this morning.
Did you see ice? You saw a little frost?
No. I felt a little frost.
I saw my breath. I was like, ooh. That's when you know it's real.
I got friends in Atlanta that saw snow this morning.
Ooh.
So it's coming. It's on the way.
No, it's not.
That's how
I mean, it might be on the way. It could, you know. What is that, a low pressure?
Yeah, low pressure, the Arctic winds or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we call them. Lake effect snow.
You know what they call them? Alberta Clipper.
Alberta Clipper.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard of that. That's a Canada thing?
It comes down? No. North thing. When it gets god awful cold.
The Alberta Clipper sounds like a hockey goon's nickname. Oh, what a hit by the Alberta Clipper!
Yeah.
Sounds like Utah should use one of those names.
It sounds like somebody Randy Moeller fought back in the day. The Alberta Clipper.
No one was tougher than Alberta Clipper.
All righty. Well, let's get the headlines, everybody, which are brought to you by Doral Hyundai. At Doral Hyundai, choose from over 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory, like the Tucson, Sonata, and Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. Last night, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame.
Oh, which may be. Can I just tell you? I feel worse for him than I did for Gary Anderson.
Really? For the pickoff?
You throw a pick with 30 seconds left?
That's rough.
You're going into overtime if you just take a knee.
Just do nothing.
Right, just do nothing. You have a chance to win. The only way you don't have a chance to win is if you try to make a play.
Yeah, it's tough.
And let's be clear. Hadn't played that great to that point anyway, so you shouldn't be taking no chances.
It was surprising to everybody. I think it's one of those. I mean, you looked at James Franklin on the sidelines. Woo! He was broken. Woo!
Woo! Holy smokes. I mean, you can't tell me the last time you've seen a mistake like that. The only time I can remember when Michigan was playing Michigan State and they punted on 4th down with like 5 seconds left.
Yep.
And it got blocked or something. That.
And then but like that, what was the state? I guess that's a rivalry game. Like the stakes of this to go to the national championship.
The stakes,
like, because I can think of like the only dumb mistake that I can think like this is, not kneeling on the football. But that aside,
that's orders coming from the top.
I know this is, but
you got the football in your hands and you got to know. And listen, I told you yesterday, I don't trust none of these quarterbacks. I don't trust. I didn't trust Drew Aller. The only reason why I said the quarterback from Notre Dame was because he's the 3rd leading rusher. So, and he was throwing the ball to the other team too. So that game, let me tell you something. I thought that final score was going to be 13-10.
It picked up.
It picked up.
Business picked up. Stun Steve said the dude said he was trying to throw it away, threw it into double coverage. He did.
He was trying to throw it.
That's what he said.
Dude, we watching the same. We watched that game. He wasn't trying to throw it away.
If by throw it away, you mean intentionally throw that game because you owed money to gamblers.
Yeah. So, and man, I've never. I've seen some boneheaded plays, right? But I've never seen a mistake that critical that late when there's no need.
Yep.
You're not down by 1,
Mm-mm.
right? The worst case scenario, we got a long commercial break and we get ready for overtime. The worst case scenario. But I was wrong. There is something that's worse.
Wild, dude.
And
Tonight-
a team with 3 timeouts. So not only did they didn't even have to hardly try.
I know. Oof.
I thought 41 was going to give up another touchdown
Oof.
at the end because I knew they had to pass the ball. They wasn't going to kick no 50-something yard field goal. So I knew they had to they were going to throw the ball, kind of in there. Everybody's like, why are they throwing it? I said, because that's a 50-yard field goal for a kid that wasn't the kicker earlier in the year.
Notre Dame wins. Texas takes on Ohio State tonight in the Cotton Bowl. Ohio State is a 6-point favorite. That game gets going at 7:30
Snow in there.
to decide the other side of the
Sleet and
bracket.
snow.
Oof. Yeah, that always happens in Texas around this time too.
Mm-hmm. Remember
that
the Leon Let play?
Didn't
It
that
was
happen?
snow everywhere.
I remember a Super Bowl too that was in Dallas at Jerry's World. Like it was like nobody could get around because the weather was so bad.
What about when the Super Bowl was in New York?
I was there. Terrible. Although the day of the Super Bowl, it wasn't that bad. They had like heaters like over the seats, but it was you didn't even need them. It wasn't that bad.
After being around a few stadiums, I realized what are expensive stadiums to make and what are the cheapies, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you notice, the cheapies are kind of built like Hard Rock was when it originally was built. Like the outside,
Oh yeah,
the tarmac or whatever that is open.
the ramps.
The ramps and the concessions are open.
Yeah.
Now all that stuff is closed in. The newer stadiums. So you go into the stadium, it's almost like a glass, and everything is inside.
Oh, MetLife's a dump. It's a dump, and they spent a lot of money on that dump too.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Terrible turf, boring. It's a very unimpressive building.
Yeah, but to say a new stadium, I mean, you go to Cleveland. Let me tell you something. They T-moved that thing.
Really?
Yeah, because like it's
why has
open.
Cleveland always had football? Like, don't you guys love football more than anything? Like, why has it always been an issue? Like, you guys moved over it. You guys didn't you guys did a Chiefs. Like, the new one looks like it's gonna be cool.
I don't even understand that. I'm telling you, my first visit, when I took a visit to Cleveland during the recruiting pre-draft stuff, right? When I went to Cleveland, I went to their facility. In 1990, they had a diagram of the new stadium. When you first walk in, hey, we're going to have this built within the next, 3 or 4 years. We're working on it. Then they built a baseball park, and the baseball team was horrible.
The Jake.
Then they built Gund Arena at the time. That was the owner. And they built them right next to each other. And it was like, I thought we were getting a new stadium. So while everybody saw, Cleveland's trying to bulk Cleveland, there was a lot of stuff that built up to that.
Yeah, like it's like it was one of those like didn't everybody got dough for it except for the Cleveland owner or what's his name, Modell?
Yeah,
Morel, what the hell was his name?
right. They got money to build Jacobs Field. They got money to build Gund Arena, and he was still fighting. And I'm like, whoa, that Cleveland's the bread and butter now. And yeah. The rest, I say, because you best believe if Cleveland had a valid stadium proposal, there's no way the league would let Cleveland leave. Right? So
Nah.
you had to know that was just thrown together.
All right, we'll take a break here. When we come back, your Miami Heat get to a little 15 minutes of heat as your Miami Heat get the win last night in Utah. Take a break. Back after this. Bum, bum. 15 minutes of heat for you here on 560 WQN, which is brought to you by Hollywood Kia. The heat is on, your number one fan and number one Kia dealer, HollywoodKia.com. Go Heat.
Missed that. Haven't heard that for a while.
Why are you guys saying it wasn't on the rundown?
Because we didn't get a rundown.
I put it in Google Docs now. Somebody, you guys don't check
Google
anything.
Docs.
Yeah, because what's the point of stuff in your email every day if I could just send you the Google Doc? It updates every day.
He does. I will say he did send the live read to me in Google Docs, and I got to say, much appreciated.
Yeah, very convenient.
Yeah, very convenient.
Very
We
convenient.
can't be sending everyday stuff into Google Docs.
Why not? That's the whole point of it. Yeah, edit it every day.
Decided we did this.
So you just filling up another spot.
Why do I have to decide anything? I'm the one who makes the rundown.
We need to have a meeting before we decided.
We don't do meetings.
Meetings.
We
Our
need to have
meetings consist of
having
watching
more
Marcos put his tongue on a piece of shrimp.
Yeah. All right. Didn't realize I was sending this to it was like hieroglyphics from the old Egyptian temples or something like that. I didn't realize this was so hard for everybody.
You know what, guys? I'm just gonna start doing the rundown on the cloud.
It's much more convenient. You're such a bastard. Anyway, the Heat, they win last night over the Utah Jazz 97-92. Really bad game, especially in the first half. I mean, the first half was god-awful basketball.
Brick City, by the looks of the stats.
Oh, dude. Brick City. But exciting ending. Probably too exciting. That said, Jaime Jacquez Jr. still balling on this West Coast trip.
Footwork.
He was not having any issues. Hit a huge three for Miami to put it out of reach. Him and Bam very clutch towards the end. But let me tell you something that was hilarious. So the game is closing out, right? And Jaime is going to the rim strong. Initial call was a foul. You're like, all right, great for Jaime. About to get to the free throw line. And so that would have put the Miami Heat. They were going up 90-88 with him going to the free throw line, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what you're supposed to do, the rule is kind of like in the NFL, you can't challenge once the snap goes off, right? Well, in the NBA, you cannot challenge once the ball is thrown
to the
player
shooter.
at the free throw shooter.
Right.
So the ball was thrown to Jaime already, and the other referee, he gives Will Hardy the challenge anyway. And Spo loses his freaking mind. He was enraged.
Well, what if he was giving him the challenge and then the ball? You see what I'm saying? Like, because they're kind of far away.
It was bang. Look, it was bang bang. The point is, Spo was upset about it because he's saying
I could see it.
He was saying that there was chicanery and that there's too much of this going on around the league with the challenge. And Spo does not challenge. It's a crazy thing. He is by far the person who challenges the least in the league. I think he's at single digit.
Gets mad. He gets mad because he's mad that it's that damn obvious that now he's got to use a challenge.
Right. He doesn't do it. And basically almost saves it. Even though now you can have challenges, you earn challenges. As long as you challenge and you win, you get to keep your challenges. But he doesn't care. He doesn't like it. Too old school. Doesn't like it. And he was furious with this young punk, Will Hardy, who, is just this whippersnapper coach. I don't like his face. There's just something about him. And he's got he's got like the coiffed hair, and just Spo's just done with this punk who's doing the young challenge. Now the Heat lost the challenge. So he was, even more enraged because Walker Kessler, they ruled that he did not foul Jaime Jacquez, that he went straight up. And that Jaquez,
not only do you let him challenge, but you lose the challenge.
You lost the challenge.
Spo's got to be.
He was heated. Now, it didn't burn the Heat too much because then they go to jump ball. Heat win the tip. And then Jaime Jacquez comes back and hits a 3, puts the Heat up 5. But this was Erik Spoelstra after the game.
Oh,
You got this, Froggy? Erik Spoelstra was asked about this challenge thing. And, I mean, just listen to how upset he is by all the chicanery.
On a coach's challenge, if the referee places the ball into the free throw shooter.
Don't get me started on that. What are you setting me up for?
I just want to know the rules, and I know you've.
I know what they talked about in the coaches' meetings at the beginning of the year, that you're not allowed to do the shenanigans and delay the game and stand in the middle of the paint, tie your shoe, all of these things that, if they tell us not to do that, the Miami Heat, we don't do that. We go stand on the line. Maybe we should start working on some of the trickery. But Brandon did a couple pump fakes, and that gave them just enough time to challenge.
Wow.
So, in other words, basketball has its own version of pulled hammy, and when it's a 2-minute drill.
That's what he's saying.
Everybody in the world knows that. Wait a minute, this guy like he got a sniper, right? Oh. Clock stops.
I just love the idea, though, that he does that where he goes, the Miami Heat by policy do not subscribe to trickery.
Listen, Spo, love you, buddy. That's funny. That's hilarious. That he's like, look, look, we played the game like it's supposed to be played. There's no trickery. There's no.
I remember asking him. You remember when they were doing the crackdowns on the flopping?
Yeah.
And I asked him about this at one game after one practice about this, and he goes, we can no longer reward trickery. And I was like, what trickery? What the hell does that mean?
Oh my goodness. It's hard to believe he's been a coach for 18 years, right?
It is, and then
it's been a long time.
I mean, it's crazy. But he was so mad at this whole deal.
Now, let me ask you this.
Mhm.
Because this, and I'm gonna give you the ebbs and flows of a game. Does this happen before or after the Nico thing?
This happened after. There were 2 Nico things yesterday. After I handed him the keys to the franchise, he did 2 things that I thought was going to get him sent back to Serbia. Like, I thought Erik Spoelstra was going to – I really thought that he was going to punch Nico right in the face. So he had 2 moves that really, cost the Heat big. Nico comes out. I mean, he was cooking. I mean, the first half from Nico, just balling. Then he just, kind of lost his 3-point shot yesterday. But it had nothing to do with offense or defense. It had to do with boneheaded plays. So in the third quarter, the Patty Mills of all people. Oh my
He's
God.
still playing?
He plays for the Jazz.
Jeez.
Do we have our Patty Mills greeting anywhere, Marcos? Is that still in the system? Yes, Patty Mills is on the Utah Jazz. If you want to know when you're at the end of your rope as an NBA player, you're playing for the Utah Jazz, but he is playing. They were all happy to see him. They're like, hey, we're happy to see him, mate.
No -1 here. G'day, everyone. I'm Patty Mills of your Miami Heat. You're listening to Tobin and Leroy on the home of your favorite basketball team, AM 560 Sports, WQAM, FM 99.9 HD2, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Thank you, Patty. And Patty Mills is obviously over the hill, long in the tooth. And what do you know? In a game where nobody's hitting buckets, Patty Mills comes out and he starts cooking. Just starts giving the Heat buckets. So Nico, he gets a jumper to put the Heat up 5. And then they come back to within brought it to within 3. And then he goes and drives to the basket. And I thought that he got fouled, but it was a very physical game. Like, Utah's got 3 giant intangible maulers, and they were like, Bam, I thought was getting hacked like crazy in the first half. They weren't letting it go, just like in the Jaime play. They called it, they reversed it. So Nico drives to the basket, and he starts losing his mind on the referee. Like, he's like, bah! You could just see him give that face. The nose was all crunched up.
Beat up.
He doesn't get teed up, but he was whining, dude. So much so cardinal rule, if your name is not Dwayne Wade, he did not get back on defense. He didn't do the
whoa.
He did not get back on defense. So Patty sets up for the 3. Kalel's left out on an island. He's got to close out too strong. Patty Mills hits the 3, fouls him, and then not only fouls him, they call a flagrant foul because they called it a reckless closeout, all because Nico did not get back on defense. And Leroy, I really thought that was the end for Nikola Jović. I thought that Erik Spoelstra was like, just send him for Bradley Beal. Send him anywhere.
Jeez.
Thankfully, he did put him back in the game, which he had to because Utah's too big. They have too many giant intangibles. So he ends up back in the game in the fourth quarter. But the Heat, I mentioned the Jaime 3, they go up 5. So they they go up. They go up 5, and there's like 13 seconds left. Nico inbounds the ball, but like chucks it down like he's going to have 13 seconds eradicate from the clock. He throws it right to the Jazz. It was the worst pass you've ever seen in your life. I'm like, what are you doing, Nico? It was stressful. It was stressful. Thankfully, the Heat come out with the win, but I was like, come on, kid. What are you doing?
Well, the fact that you said kid explains it all. He ain't 30, right? You gonna have some moments like that.
There were some bad moments, though, dude.
Only Nick Young did it well into his 30s.
Pretty wild. I thought that was going to be the end of him.
And with Spo would go, and that's why I hate playing young players.
Nunya says it was a bad pass, but it made sense. Triple J was running towards that direction.
Jeez. All right, Drew Aller.
Oof, man, that was something. We do not resort to trickery. Can you play that again?
Nobody wants to see non-basketball plays or trickery being rewarded.
Oh, yeah, that was back in the day when I was like, trickery? What?
Trickery.
Never heard of such a thing. But yesterday he goes, we talked about this at the meeting. I'm like, first of all, that just sounds like who's taking the notes in that meeting? Is that Chris Quinn? He goes, Quinny, write this down. No trickery.
No, they have meetings like that in all the sports. Like, we know when camp starts. Like, we have a meeting on it. The officials will come in, and that's after, like, when the coaches meet with them, and during the owners meetings and stuff like that. But then we'll have, like, we have our own officials for like a week, usually when you practice against another team, but you'll have a meeting with the officials and they'll tell you points of emphasis for the year, right? They'll show you film of what will and won't be tolerated. And so it's not like everybody doesn't know the rules. So, because what, like, you remember when it seemed like every play was pass interference?
Yeah. Oh, that was a bad year.
Points of emphasis. Right? They don't want, like,
remember
the
when
fourth collar is now.
Remember the first game of the season this year where they called illegal formation like 9 times?
Oh, that was so horrible. I was
like, congratulations, refs. You're really saving
And then they made their point for 3 weeks, and you haven't heard it called since.
Yep. All right, we'll take a break. Jimmy Butler, by the way, Miami Heat 2-2 under the suspension of Jimmy Butler.
So basically, they're the same as when he was active.
I mean, one could say that.
Yeah.
But he may have been taking pot shots on Instagram yesterday. I'll tell you about that next.
Previously on
Tobin and Leroy.
League, you're not going to even think about giving me a fine.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Oh, man, we're going into a Sunday. No Dolphins football. I don't know if that's a relief to people or a sadness to people. How you feeling, Froggy? No Dolphins football this weekend.
Regardless of how much they haunt me year after year after year, it is sad. It is sad for me. It is a part of my Sundays. I'm a happier man when I have Miami Dolphins football to look forward to.
Well, here's the problem. That now you would have been happy if they had made the playoffs.
Yeah, even though I know they're probably
doesn't that like I don't understand. Like, people complain, oh, they're just gonna squeak in the play. But you get there, anything can happen, right?
Yeah.
And even though it hasn't, you still get there, anything can happen. But to say, oh, I'm upset there's no football while complaining about their opportunities to get in the playoffs, like, I mean, I would rather my team be in the playoffs every year. Eventually they'll figure it out, right? I do believe eventually sports will happen and you'll make a run. The only way you can't win the Super Bowl is if you don't get to the playoffs. So, like, if they had gotten into the playoffs at 9-8, I would have been ecstatic, because that means that football can happen.
It's not even a playoff thing, though. It's just like it's a comfort. You know, once your team is out in football, it's like,
Yeah, but that's not the way people were talking, like, during the season.
Yeah, but that's not really the point I'm making. I'm not talking about making the playoffs.
You just said that your team's not playing and other teams.
Yeah, just no, nothing to watch. You know, I mean, I'm going to watch
an extended bye week.
Yeah, no, very.
Those are rough too. I hate those weeks. I get the saddest during bye weeks.
Oh yeah.
So rough. And then, with the Hurricanes, sometimes it's like you have a bye week. Oh, okay, at least I have Hurricanes this week. I only got nothing.
Especially if there's no good games during the bye week. So you watching other teams, you're not watching, and it never fails. Like, doesn't football just seem like hot garbage when your team's not playing? I don't care what the games are. You're like, nah, I'm not really interested.
They moved the Monday night game to Arizona.
Yep.
Because of the fires. I mean, the fires are crazy right now in California.
Yeah, we practiced there
in Arizona.
When we were a wild card. We went to New York. We beat New York, and we getting back on the plane. They said, "Hey, go home, pack some clothes. We're gonna go practice all week in Arizona because the weather was like the snow and the weather was getting really, really bad." So that Monday, it was either Monday or Tuesday, we flew out to Arizona and then flew from Arizona to San Francisco and played San Francisco. And yeah,
well, I was wondering, the Heat playing Inglewood on Monday too. I was wondering if that's going to get affected at all by any of this. I don't know
how long these things last, right? Because
me neither.
This has been going for what, a week?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
And the problem is not just the fires; it's the high winds.
The high winds, and apparently there's trouble getting water there. I mean, there's a lot of infrastructure that apparently is messed up. I saw Jaime, some of the quotes that he had about it. He's like furious about it. A lot of Californians are.
It says a lot of the electricity is like up and down, so like it'll you won't get full power. So I have a buddy, one of my high school teammates. He lives out there, and he was giving me the breakdown that he lives 6 miles from there, but he's not really threatened. And I'm like, 6 miles seems kind of close. Right?
Do you see the smoke? It does seem kind of close.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said it's smoky. He said he knows where the fires are, but they haven't really gotten to his area.
Yeah, Ira has a piece that says, "Heat's hot as fumes with Southern California flames. Ridiculous how California keeps letting this happen."
I mean, how do you keep letting what happen? It's
just
wildfire.
No, but apparently, but this is a thing where like the preparation for it is everybody is like in town, like, is saying like these are things that it'd almost be like leaving a rotten, seawall because eventually something, and you do nothing about it for all these years,
right?
And so that's what everybody's saying is like people knew, and there's no resources to put these things out quickly,
right? I got you.
So that's what the that's
in other words, they were, whoever's in charge wasn't treating it like this is a serious issue.
Yeah, or just you let it go every year, and now you have one where the winds are even more crazy.
Right.
He said, quote, this was Jaime and Iris, quote, I think it's kind of ridiculous how California lets this happen. It happens every single year, never prepared for it, always just got out of control. People are losing their homes, losing their livelihoods. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
And the worst part about all that is, say if you build a life, you build a house, you got a mortgage, you nice job or whatever, and your house gets destroyed, right? You end up paying for it because the insurance companies don't give you the true value of your house or your item.
Mm-hmm.
So and then it's hard to rebuild there, right? So like, yeah, I get it. That like you go through that with hurricanes, man. Like, sometimes like you don't want it to tear up your livelihood because you can't a lot of stuff you can't replace the way people replace stuff. Like you think, oh, I have insurance. My house broke. My house was totaled by this hurricane. Okay, they're just going to bill me. No, it don't work like that.
Apparently, Jaime was supposed to get his high school number retired this week. That they were going to go because they did the heat of the double dip in LA where they play the Clippers, day off, Lakers. And I think the day between he was going to get his jersey retired, but it sounds like it may be obviously postponed because he says there's bigger priorities right now.
Yep. Agreed.
Oh man.
I feel bad like for like people that have to go through this because we all make assumptions that if something catastrophic like that happens, that we pay, enough taxes and insurance and stuff that we at least feel safe and secure that, we're going to be able to get those things back.
Mm-hmm.
Just, save your own butt and get to safety. And that's usually one of the reassuring things when these disasters happen is that as long as you are safe, you can rebuild. Well, the problem is that rebuilding has become more difficult and you don't have that safety blanket you thought you had. So whether it's in LA with the fires or the earthquakes, whether it's down here or in other states with the hurricanes and stuff like that, I know a bunch of people in New Orleans that just never went back because what it would cost to rebuild, what it would cost to replace everything, even though they had insurance, right? It didn't matter. So like, yeah, I understand exactly what he's talking about. I mean, think about this. When Katrina hit, we had people standing on bridges for 2 days. Like you knew it was coming. This is an area that's below sea level and needs like the most attention right away. Look how long it took for them. The one thing I'll say about Florida, when a hurricane hits, you can go get water and ice and stuff like that right away. Right. They get those little staging areas with sand and stuff like that. And
yeah, the crazy thing the last time was the tornadoes that were coming out of nowhere. That was wild.
Man.
They were just like they laid waste to a lot of like a neighborhood away from me, basically.
Well, I mean, there's always the Marco story.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you guys didn't believe me. Yeah, I saw yet another thing. I was ahead of the curve.
You were there.
What did he say?
So wait, Tobin. So
yeah,
he told us a story
mm-hmm.
about how him and this girl got stuck in a tornado. Talk about seeing the tornado going down the street towards his mom's house, right? And so we didn't believe him. So me and JFig interrogated his moms on the phone.
Harassed.
They harassed you?
Harassed my mother. My poor mother was on.
Because we thought then we called Glennis.
Yeah.
Right? We had that.
Oh, potty mouth.
I don't believe this.
Wait, you had to dump her?
I had to dump her. Dude.
Oh yeah. Oh
First
yeah.
time there, dude.
That's great.
So yeah, so we had those
Tornadoes.
tornadoes were no joke because we were talking about him, and then he told his tornado story. And we're like,
You're just like waiting for you just sees iguanas flying across instead of cows.
We're like, no. He said there were people putting their trash out. I'm like, what?
No,
So a media storm that we're dealing with right now is the Jimmy Butler thing, and people have seen that on Jimmy Butler's Instagram. He has been he doesn't have basketball to do, so he's been working at his coffee shop. It seems like every day, and at Big Face Coffee, he was giving encouragement to one of his baristas, and people took this little line that he threw in there as perhaps a pot shot at Pat Riley and the Miami Heat.
Right here. See that? See that? I gave you a compliment. That's what bosses do. We build you up. We don't break you down.
If you guys couldn't hear that,
absolutely.
If you guys couldn't hear it too good on the radio, what he said was, "See, I gave you a compliment to his barista. That's what bosses do. They build you up. They don't break you down." And then gives the old thumbs up. Happy face.
But here's the deal. What's that got to do with getting $60 million in 2 years?
I don't know.
And wait, Pat Riley said, even in his beginning of the year press conference, that you were the needle mover.
He did say that.
You are the star.
He did say that.
And is he wrong for saying, but I need him to play more games?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to understand, after coming off last year, you were 3 games away from being like the 4 seed, and Jimmy missed all those games. Why wouldn't Pat Riley think, if I can get him to play 10 more games, right? If we won 4-10, so if we were 40% and him playing 10 more games, we're the 4th seed or the 5th seed? Like, yeah. So, like, whether Jimmy feels that way, and Jimmy's basing it all on money, we've established that this is all about.
He's basing it all on money, but there's definitely been also public stuff that he's tried to, I guess, add into it, like, you know, the insistence that he wasn't playing hard, that was an insult to him, even though we all have eyes.
Wait. Ooh, like, that didn't come from. Well, that came in the suspension.
Well, they said, yeah, the thing was, the word is that the Miami Heat, like, saw the Pelicans game after he said that, you know, he was going to, you know, go out there and compete on practice, that there was some kind of meeting afterwards, either with his agent or with him, I forget that what was reported, but that they were implying, hey, you didn't exactly play your hardest there. I know that Jimmy's camp, or his little his friends there on Twitter, had said that he was threatened with suspension in that meeting. Not sure, but the Heat denied that through reporters. Then we had the Pacers game where he did end up getting suspended after that. So, you know, I think that I'm sure there's other stuff that has bothered Jimmy from all of this stuff, but obviously the biggest thing that has been the catalyst for it has been the Munyon.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If it's only about the money and you do other things to make it about something else too, you're not helping your case.
No.
Right? That's the thing. Like, and I'm wondering, why does Jimmy think nobody else will pay him after seeing this? After seeing these last couple of weeks of him, why would anybody think that, yeah, it's worth that? Because when you think of the studs that get traded for during the season, that's never a question, right? The last time we saw it was James Harden.
James Harden and Kawhi. Yeah, like those are the guys that you think like, oh, they may not give it all the time.
Well, and
James
based on Kawhi's career, you can't really even say that because you know he's got bad knees.
And I can't even hate, but Fat Bum's having a nice season.
Fat Bum.
So, like,
I hate him though.
But the problem with Harden is it's hard to tell if he's playing or not because he plays that methodical.
Oh, he's That's
Right.
why he's loving this season. He's like, oh, Kawhi's coming back.
I just looked at his stats. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's having a great season.
21, 6, and 7. Well, damn near 8. 21, 6, and 8 with almost 2 steals a game.
Steals,
right?
We'll see him on Monday, maybe. I guess if the
that's
game
a
stays
defensive
scheduled.
stat.
Yeah, right?
A defensive stat for James Harden.
He was the OG guy people used to break down on Twitter of like, oh, look at this, not
Right.
trying.
So I don't like the whole situation becomes more difficult when the antics, you know what I mean? Because
If the Heat finish, if
the
the
last
Heat are,
thing you want to do is piss Pat Riley off. He's the one that's going to help you get to your destination, right?
one would think, but again, like a lot of this stuff, if he really only wants to go to one place, first of all, it's not all in his hands. Like you legitimately.
But don't you have to understand that? Call Bradley Beal.
Oh yeah, he seems reasonable. He seems agreeable.
Glad you're
Right?
starting to see that.
He basically told Kevin Durant, "Hey, start bullying Bradley Beal." He goes, "What do you mean?" He goes,
The whole organization is in on it.
"I know."
What the? So they want Jimmy, but they signed a guy with a no trade clause in his contract, and so they go bully him. He's just an innocent bystander.
I know. I'm not leaving. You're going to bully me to go to Detroit? Go ahead. Let's try. If I'm Bradley Beal, I'm like, good luck with that, dude. I played for the.
Detroit's not terrible.
Detroit's not terrible. Detroit's not, but it's about, does he want to live in Detroit?
I mean, so
I don't know.
I would guess that Chicago's out of the question then.
Well, I think Chicago has Billy Donovan, who was his college coach. So there was some thought that he would agree to that.
He's had a nice little run here quietly, right?
Billy Donovan?
Yeah.
He's been solid.
But I'm saying he's like, usually college coaches take over like that, and you hear about him and
Oh yeah.
Right.
Who was the dude from Michigan? He was they got rid of his ass quick.
Beeline.
Beeline, yeah. Well, he lasted like 3 seconds. They basically mutinied on him.
Yeah.
That was Duncan's coach, right?
Yeah. Was it a Beeline? Was it Beeline or was it
I think you have it. Yeah, I think you got it right.
Because when did our guy take over?
Yeah, it was John Beeline.
John Beeline.
He resigned as head coach in the middle of the season.
I mean,
because when he left, Jawan took over as head coach, right?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Then I was stunned because I had no idea that Jawan Howard was a coach on the Nets this year. I walked out, I was like, "What?"
Oh, I did.
Jawan Howard? I had no idea. I was like,
because I knew he wasn't at Michigan anymore. I just didn't know where he was.
Oh man. So anyway, that's the latest on Jimmy doing his social media thing. He's bored.
What do you expect, Jimmy? Being, again, when this all started, I said these words: Pat Riley is being Pat Riley, and Jimmy Butler is being Jimmy Butler. And the one thing that Pat Riley has become Pat Riley about is, even with Jimmy, we're still hovering around 500.
You think any fan goes to Big Face Coffee and stands out there say anything with the boombox over their head?
No, because that's what you would do. But I don't know. He throws these suggestions out there. You're the only person that thinks like that.
I may do that next Thursday.
Honestly, it's not a bad idea, for being honest.
Hey, just look for the big intangible with a keg in one arm and a boombox in the other one.
Jimmy, please.
But what are you going to ask him? Here's the problem. If you could have one message to Jimmy, what would it be? See?
If I had a message to him?
Just what would you ask Jimmy to do?
I would ask, what would you want me to ask? What would I ask him to do, or what would I tell him?
What would you ask, tell, whatever?
My ask would be,
first of all, if you tell him, it's going to come across wrong.
I would ask him this. Why do you guys think this is a good idea?
No. I would say, why aren't you playing basketball?
I know why he's not playing basketball. I'm asking him, why did you think this was a good idea?
No, see, you're doing reporter thing. I'm doing silly sauce, keg, and boombox, and you're yelling into a store that he owns,
Oh,
asking media questions.
Well, I think I'm allowed to be on the street. I don't think I can get thrown off the design district.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't look design district E. So maybe they'll just be like,
push you aside.
you know.
But
Like they have those crosswalk cops at the design district that just like move it along, buddy. You're not made for this place.
But I just think that the one thing that'll get Jimmy what he wants is playing basketball. Like because again, anybody interested would like to see you playing basketball.
What if I just go outside and just like, Nikola Jović misses you, Jimmy!
Again.
Yeah.
What's the song that they play? Is
Like
it in your eyes? In your eyes.
Who's that? Roger Hornsby? No, that's
Peter Gabriel.
Peter Gabriel. That's
in your eyes. Jimmy's sitting there like, security. Can you get this guy out of here, please?
Peter Gabriel in your eyes.
I'm gonna sit there next Thursday right before they come back and be like, Jimmy!
But I mean, dude,
I know you're bored.
Next week is going to be filled with excitement because it goes next week. Then you got 2 weeks before the trade deadline.
Yep.
And you think Jimmy starts?
I mean, I don't think he's coming off the bench.
But
like, I think if he's going to play, if we all come to the agreement he's playing basketball.
He's told us he's going to play already. Do you really think he's going to play?
I don't know.
See, as a coach, can you play?
They say he's going to play. I mean, like, I don't know what's posturing and I don't know what's real, but what they're telling everybody is he's going to play or he's coming back. And he's not coming back if he's not going to play.
Why? You can't just send him away.
Right. That's my point. And you can't just sit him on the bench.
I mean, I'm waiting for the Spo to have him come off the bench and say, you got to earn the right to be out there.
Ooh, that's not going to
I
happen.
mean, like, that's what he would say.
You got to earn those minutes.
You got to earn those minutes. Like 1 foot threes, trying stuff.
Take a break. Back after this.
Our Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tonga Vailoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Can go to hell. Tonga Vailoa. Dolphins quarterback. Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of
Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Tobin and Leroy here with you on a Friday. Let's get to our headlines brought to you by Doral Hyundai. Doral Hyundai, choose from over 1,300 new Hyundai models in inventory, like the Tucson, Sonata, and Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. Florida Panthers back on the ice tomorrow against the Bruins at 1 o'clock. You know how that's going to go. Bruins. I mean, that's you want to talk about a team that just completely is mentally broken by the Cats. Heat defeat the Utah Jazz last night, 97-92. Jaime Jacquez Jr. with a season-high 20 points, a season-high 7 assists, added 7 rebounds in there as well. Great game for Jaime. Been a great road trip for Jaime. I would say if anybody is flourishing with Jimmy being out, he is definitely taking advantage of it more than anybody.
They have very similar games.
Yeah, well, he said he was his favorite player coming in. Remember that was a thing when he got drafted.
I would say Jaime's footwork seems almost better. Like it's like impeccable.
He has great footwork.
He always manages to wiggle out of certain situations with footwork.
The thing that was huge yesterday was they dared him to shoot that three, and because he's not been a good 3-point shooter in his career. Rose up, bang, hit that puppy with some confidence. And I got to be honest with you, he said his teammate, the Heat. I mean, you want to talk about third little pig yesterday? The Heat were terrible from 3 yesterday. Jaime probably, I'm not joking. He probably could have had 15 assists yesterday if anybody could hit the broadside of a barn. He was setting his teammates up pretty for great looks.
Those games happen.
It was no, dude.
It happened for everybody, man.
It was like 1997. I think it was like 31-27 in the second quarter, late in the second quarter. I was like, woo!
I know they were like 14 of 50 from 3 or something like that. That's crazy. 50, and you don't even make 20 of them?
Crazy, man. Reports are surfacing, Leroy. A little fight news for you. Reports are surfacing that our guy, Gilbert Burns, is making his Octagon return at the yet-to-be officially announced UFC 314 in Miami.
Ooh.
Yeah.
In the Kaseya Center or...
I got to assume it's going to be because I don't even know where else they would put it if it's going to be a Miami card.
Remember they did one that was boxing, though, at Hard Rock. Didn't Canelo fight at Hard Rock? Oh,
yeah, they're not going to do it at the Hard Rock. They need it to be full around. UFC's not going to pull that. But yeah, no, there's a lot of rumors out there. I mean, it hasn't been announced yet, but April is going to be UFC 314. Gilbert Burns is going to be fighting Michael Morales, who is from Ecuador, 25-year-old undefeated fighter. We got you, Gil. We're still backing you, buddy. But Ecuador, remember the last time it was Sugar Sean O'Malley and Chito Vera. And the thing that was crazy about this is all of Ecuador basically came to this card. And Sugar Sean O'Malley, everybody was booing him. So,
I mean, listen, it started like that with Canelo and Munguia.
Yep.
I'm like, wow.
So yeah, I think April 12th is the rumored date, and I got to tell you, it looks like we were doing some. I was actually talking to this with. I mean, he will do nothing but badger me during the show for my crimes. But I was talking about this with Stunt Steve yesterday, And it kind of looks like, Leroy, based on process of elimination and some reports, that Ilia Topuria, fresh off his knockout of Max Holloway, will be main eventing, likely a rematch against the great Alexander Volkanovski for the featherweight title. And that is going to be a fun fight. Because what he wanted to do was fight in Spain, but I guess the Spanish stadiums are booked, and they're not. They don't always says, "Oh, we're going to go to a stadium in Europe." It never happens. Never happens. They like doing arenas. They like doing America, and they want to go to Miami because Miami will pay that money. And so they're going to basically give their young, bright, new, shiny star against the legend in Alexander Volkanovski rematch. The last time he beat Volkanovski took that fight on short notice. You could build it up. Masvidal is going to be back on that card. So I'm looking forward to it when they announce it, which they haven't. And I don't even know.
You pretty much just announced all the fighters in the.
I am not reporting it though. I just have I'm looking at some rumblings online and some speculation, and I'm like, look at all the fights that are all the champions who are already fighting before this one. The only other one it would be I guess Pereira, but he doesn't really have that sexy of a matchup right now. And John Jones, the heavyweight title, but that's going to be in July if it happens at all. So I think it's going to be Topuria, and Topuria's management team is down here too. They're the first round guys. So I think we're getting that matchup as the main event.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think, Leroy. Gilbert Burns, Jorge Masvidal.
So it's okay for me to ask you about this, just not hockey.
Hey, ask me whatever you want, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
UFC is back. The pay-per-views are back next week. Exciting. Oh,
Yeah,
they got
Izzy, right?
Islam Makhachev is going to be fighting.
I thought it was.
These are the fights you got. Next, no. I think that's the next week. I think is a fight night card he's doing. Next week is Islam Makhachev and Arman Sarukian. And then in the co-main, you have the bantamweight title, Merab Dvalishvili and Umar Nurmagomedov, who is Khabib's cousin. And then you have Yuri
Is he also
Prohaska.
a bear wrestler?
Yes. Just smaller. Yuri Prohaska and Jamal Hill. Benil Dariush and Hanato Moicano.
It's amazing how you get all these names right. And then you say Jesper.
I really thought I forgot. I was like, why did I say it? Listen, I'm just calling him the Yes Man from now on.
It's Jesper.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
I know. I told you we got Jesper Parnevik as his golfer, so I knew it was Jesper.
Anyway, so that's your fight talk for today, everybody. We'll take a break. We'll get into a little bit more of the Dolphins, as yesterday Drew Rosenhaus was on the Pat McAfee show. I guess I got to be careful what I say with them now. You got his little army coming after me.
Oh my goodness! I told you what you should have responded. Punting.
But we'll hear a little bit of what Drew had to say about the Tyreek Hill situation coming up next. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Hey, Leroy, can we get a weather update from the Demesman and Dover law firm? YourAccentAttorneys.com. Free consultations 24/7. Call at 866-954-MORE.
I'm going to just make one little small assumption here that the wind's coming out of the north. Actually coming out of the... Wow. Looks like the clouds are coming out of the south. Winds are coming out of the south. It'd probably be a little warmer today then. I'm going to say it's about 65 degrees right now. 60, 65 degrees. Winds are at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. And it is partly cloudy. It's not going to be as chilly this weekend, but it'll be cool.
How to do, Froggy?
The winds are coming out of the southeast at about 13 miles per hour. Currently, they got it at 72 degrees. He's right. It will warm up over the next couple days before dipping down again next week. You can expect lows of 54 tonight, 60 tomorrow, so on and so forth.
You eating a corned beef sandwich, dude?
No.
What is that?
That's intangible food. Ham and cheese, baby.
Okay. Wow, what a detour.
Same thing, just
So,
prepared differently.
Drew Rosenhaus was on the Pat McAfee show. We saw him on there yesterday.
Sorry, we were watching it yesterday. Whoppers, dude.
Here's a little bit of what he had to say. We got a few cuts here from that program. Tyreek Hill, he says, is committed to Miami.
What you see with Tyreek is very genuine. He wants to win. It's not good enough for him not to make the playoffs. He's very passionate. I think at the end of the day, he's committed to this Dolphin football team. He had an excellent meeting with Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel. I believe that Tyreek is a great asset to the Dolphins, and I think he's the least guy that people should be worried about for this organization. They have many more worries. Tyreek Hill's not one of them.
I mean, if they have Tyreek doing Tyreek things, then yeah, I mean, getting the offensive line is a bigger concern, but this is a big deal because he's one of the stars of the team.
And they got a lot of money invested in him.
Absolutely. He was also asked flat out, does Tyreek want to stay in Miami? And here was Drew.
So still wants to be a Dolphin. That's the most important thing.
So let me just say this. I've got to have that conversation with Tyreek.
Okay.
I'm not going to speak for him.
Gotcha.
We'll discuss that. That's going to be really something that we work out over the. I'm not going to say he does, he doesn't.
Gotcha.
That's a discussion I'm going to have with him that I haven't had yet.
Guys.
Okay.
Those two comments.
What are we doing here?
Those two comments don't make.
They don't go. Those
don't go together.
They don't go together. Nope.
Right.
He's committed to Miami. I don't know if he wants to be a Dolphin, though.
I gotta have the conversation. Let's not get crazy here, guys. All right. I mean, there's nothing left to negotiate, is there? Like the Dolphins did. They gave him that sweetener last year. So
sweetener.
I don't know what it's a crazy thing. Here was Drew Rosenhaus talking about that Tyreek Hill showed up every week for the Miami Dolphins this year.
I'm proud of the toughness.
Yeah.
He showed up for every game. There are a lot of guys that didn't play for this football team. He showed up. Throw out the comments after the game. You're emotional. The guys on the team know Tyreek is a competitor. He's there for them. We represent 13 guys on the team. Not one of them has a complaint about Tyreek.
I don't know. It's kind of sounding like your client Zach Sealer did. I mean, he didn't name names. He didn't name names.
Why didn't they ask him about him not playing the second half?
I don't know. I mean, they could have asked him, and he was doing that whole thing that he showed up every week.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Do you think he's taking a little? You think he's taking a little pot shot at Tua?
That's what I thought.
You thought that was your reaction?
I was thinking. See, here's why.
Why else would he be? Some of us didn't play the whole season.
Here's why. Here's why you can't say it's about Tua when most of his success comes at the hand of Tua. That would seem a little bit.
It would seem counterproductive.
Right. Exactly.
This was his last thing that he said, that Tyreek played the entire season with a broken wrist.
Let's back up to training camp. Tyreek's scrimmaging with the Washington Commanders, and he breaks his wrist. We have top wrist doctors saying to Tyreek, you need to get this operated on. You're going to miss the season. Tyreek says to me and the Dolphins, I'm not going to miss the season. I'm going to play. I want to be here for my team. The doctors all said it's going to be painful. It could impact your entire career. If you don't get it done now, you may not be able to fix it all the way. Tyreek said, hey, the heck with it. I'm a team guy. I'm going for it. This hampered him all year long. He deserves a lot of credit.
I don't disagree with that. We know that he was playing banged up this year. Now, why all of a sudden the ending came at the end the way that it did, I don't really understand that, because you're basically at the. It's like letting go of the football before you cross the end zone. I don't really understand that. Like, you've been through this entire thing. You've been battling through something. You've been battling through frustration.
Now you're using it as an excuse.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just think for people not to take into account the season just ended, nobody's where they want to be. When you ask questions, there's going to be a little frustration at the end of the year, right? And then take those hot takes and run with them. I told you right away, I don't make absolutely nothing of what he said. He can backtrack on what he said. Hell, Drew Rosenhaus just did it in the same conversation, right? What you can't backtrack on is the physical evidence of you refusing to go in a game. I don't know. That's the part that his teammates need an explanation. I don't need an explanation. I could care less.
River Craycraft needs an explanation.
No.
What? Why?
Tua.
Oh.
Jalen. Waddle.
Yes, I'm
So,
circulating.
Yeah, we played the sound yesterday, but Jalen Waddle looked in disbelief. He goes,
What have you done? What? It's the third quarter. It was so sad.
Oh, man. All right. We got to go over this upcoming playoff slate. Go to break there, Drew Rosenhaus.
Oh, you fancy, huh? You fancy, huh? Oh, you fancy, huh?
It is time, ladies and gentlemen, to tickle Leroy's. Go around the football slate for this weekend. Are you ready, Leroy?
I am. Let's kick it off tonight.
Let's do it. Texas, Ohio State, the Cotton Bowl. Ohio State, 6-point favorite, 7:30. Ticket your fancy?
Not enough.
Not enough points?
Not enough points.
Interesting.
Texas has this incredible slow starts every week. You do that this week, you're doing exactly what Oregon did, playing catch up the whole game. I have zero faith. This is not the playoffs of the quarterback. It really isn't. You saw the two quarterbacks last night, the two quarterbacks tonight. I mean, they've been trying to replace Ewers all year with Arch. And
it does
Howard,
feel that way, doesn't it?
And Howard is skittish at times. Pretty amazing that we are playing a game now with another quarterback that was in Ohio State.
Greedy.
How many quarterbacks have they had in the last 10 years?
I don't know, but did you see the rumors yesterday with Carson Beck?
He's coming here.
That's the word.
I have a question. Are we just gonna overlook that UCL?
I was gonna ask you about that. Like what?
We don't know if he needs surgery. If he needs surgery, that's Tommy John surgery.
Is that same
John surgery is.
Is that same as baseball? Is it different? Like how long is it?
Throwing something heavier.
Yeah, so it's like how's the recovery for that? I'm genuinely asking.
I would say it would be.
I guess you don't have to throw it 100 miles an hour. I don't get it. I don't understand how long that takes.
I don't know how it affects football.
Matt Stafford had it, right? Didn't he just recently have it? I thought that he had a UCL. That's why he missed a lot of time that 1 year.
The 1 year. It was 2 years ago, I think, or maybe even last year.
Said that he went. He already did the surgery.
Who? Beck?
Yeah.
Yeah, he already did the surgery. So I don't know. Like, well, keeping baseball's a little bit different, but football you throw every day. So
yeah.
I'm being 100% honest with you. I don't know.
I mean, in baseball, you have to be able to get through. I think my guess would be, because I'm an athlete. My guess would be is in baseball because you have to throw curve balls and sliders and just the tension on your arm. I would guess is just more because and then throwing something while it's not heavier. You got the grips on it. I just think you put your arm in weirder positions.
Yeah, right. No, I got you. That's why it's funny that the softball pitchers, the women's, they pitch every game.
It's crazy.
They pitch every game.
On Saturday, Leroy.
All right, let's go.
The LA Chargers take on the traditional Saturday matchup of the Houston Texans. They're always putting the Texans first, dude. Always.
Right. Remember the Texans usually always be on NFL Network.
Yep. That's their spot right there, dude. You got
the home of the Houston Texans.
The LA Chargers 3-point favorites. It's a 4:30 kick on CBS. Leroy, tickle your fancy?
Just rule of thumb for playoff people. Saturday games are 4:30 and 8. Sunday games start at 1 regular time. So throughout the playoffs, that's all you need to know. It does tickle my fancy.
My fancy is tickled.
Houston has not played well this year. For whatever reason, but they do have a really good defense. The Chargers don't care because they'll just run it inside of them and nickel and dime you. And it might be one of those games where Justin Herbert goes 15 for 18 for 125 yards, and they blow the Texans out. They're a sound team. They're not a great team, but that can win you a couple of games. So I think I definitely think that I would lean towards the Chargers in this one.
All right. Then up at 8 o'clock, like you said, the Pittsburgh Steelers visit the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens were up over a double-digit favorite. It has come down a little bit. They are now 9.5-point favorites over the Steelers. They do not have Zay Flowers. Does this game tickle your fancy?
Yes, and here's why.
My fancy is tickled.
For the last 15 years, we have mocked and made fun of how's Pittsburgh going to do this? How are they going to do that? How are they going to do this? And they have found a way to get to the playoffs and win games. I don't know if Russ still has it, but if there's any chance, this is the week to show it, because for some reason, Pittsburgh can play Baltimore well. The Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Baltimore, those three teams beat up on each other every year. They never sweep each other, right? So it could be one of those games. Now, when you watch Pittsburgh, they don't really do anything elite.
Yeah.
They're just a solid football team, whereas Baltimore has elite players, but their defense isn't as good as it's been.
But Pittsburgh has been slumping offensively.
Right.
Majorly.
Right. And they haven't won a playoff game in a minute.
Nope.
So
nope. The ingrate Pittsburgh fans are saying this is the Tomlin thing. You know, he'll do good in the regular season, but then in the playoffs, you got no shot.
Even if you realize that he has, based on some of the talent that he's had, no reason to be in the playoffs in the first place, maybe that's the accomplishment for this team, right? For fans to say, oh, we can't win a playoff game. Look at your roster. Look at your team. Look at what you had to do at quarterback. Look at, you haven't been running the ball all that well this year, which is a staple of Pittsburgh football. So I think it'll be a close game. I can't see Baltimore blowing Pittsburgh out because guess what? They never blow Pittsburgh out. But my wild card is Russ.
By the way, Pete Thamel says Beck will not be able to throw until March, which would have complicated his NFL draft process and will likely force him to miss spring practice at his next school. Sources say the variety of feedback that he got from the draft process led to this decision, which is obviously very similar to what happened at Cam Ward, outside of the injury. Cam Ward was in the draft and then yanked himself out and went to the U. Worked out for him.
All right. Well, I could see it, but like, I'm going to caution you guys, okay? When Carson Beck was playing, nobody was like, oh my God, Carson Beck. It wasn't like a Cam Ward situation, right? When Cam Ward was available, everybody in the country was giddy and excited that they could get a star quarterback.
Yeah, but he wasn't. But I don't think people thought he was coming to the U and thought that he was going to be potentially the number one pick in the draft. Like,
no, but they knew
he played himself into that.
They knew he was good though before he got here. He had success everywhere. I mean, dude, he has the most touchdowns ever in college football. So,
yeah, but then he left at halftime.
Oh, stop. So I don't know. Like, he played for he won. Didn't he win a national championship? Did Carson Beck win a national championship? I think so. I would say so. He's coming over with pedigree, playing in SEC, playing major. He won two. Major college football, all those things, right? But the chatter around him was not the same as Cam Ward. So I would, and having that injury and not knowing how he's going to come back from that, like, yeah, it's a good signing. He might be.
Well, let's be real about it, though. We saw what we have. It's
there's that too.
It's a major upgrade. And I mean, if you do buy into this SEC, I mean, he's going against the SEC, go to the ACC. I don't buy into that
I'm gonna
because
tell you what. All that talk about the SEC, stop, because we made fun of the Big 12 for 20 years, and you got a Big 12 SEC team in the semifinals.
I don't think it's I think it's a good thing for the Canes, especially with
No,
how
it is, but I'm just saying, like, let's not get, over. I'm speaking to you.
What?
You know how you do.
I mean, whatever, baby. Listen, he wants to be happy. Isn't he?
No, I'm talking about, how you're going to get
I'm not going to do anything.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Over exuberant, over excited. I would just say, give it a minute. We don't know what Carson Beck you're going to get yet. He hasn't thrown a football. He'll be throwing football in March. Let's see how this plays out a little bit before we get all excited about we got a quarterback. That's all I'm saying.
Sunday, the Denver Broncos visit the Buffalo Bills.
Ooh.
Buffalo, 8.5-point favorites. Leroy, tickle your fancy?
Yeah, it does. It does. Where's Buffalo? When we talk about competing with Kansas City for the AFC spot in the Super Bowl, you're talking about 3 teams. You're talking about Buffalo, you're talking about Kansas City, and you're talking about the Ravens.
Fantasy is tickled.
If that says who do you think has the bigger chance of getting upset? If I asked you, between Denver, Buffalo, or Steelers, Ravens, it got to be the Steelers, Ravens, right?
Nah, I think I'm gonna pick Buffalo getting upset, dude.
At home in the snow.
Because the Ravens, it goes based on, first of all, I like a team like the Broncos that's basically been in the playoffs for a month, where the Steelers have kind of been struggling. They've been pretty mid for like a while.
Yeah, they were. Remember, they had a chance, like the Dolphins did, to be the number 1 seed 3 weeks ago in the season.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm going with the Broncos. If you're telling me more likely, I don't think there'll be an upset in either one. But if you told me if I had to,
who's been playing good football going into the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I got you. And keep in mind, every year you have one of those wild card teams that just blow up.
Timbo says that's a petty pick. I have nothing left. At 4:30, the Green Bay Packers visit the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia is a 5-point favorite.
Not enough.
Wow. All right.
Not enough. Without knowing the status of Jordan Love, not enough.
I think he's back at practice, though, so I think he will be good to go.
Okay. He had the old dead foot in his throwing hand.
Did you that was Love, right?
Yeah, Jordan Love. Yeah.
Yeah.
That being said, the Philadelphia quarterback could play one play and be out. So
he could be. I think AJ Brown got banged up too. That popped up on the injury report. So they got that. I mean, listen, all us fails. Hand that ball over to 26.
That is correct.
Like he is
correct.
He is an absolute monster. So this game tickles your fancy?
Yep. I'm gonna be all in.
What about at 8:00? The Washington Commanders visit the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on NBC and Peacock.
I call upset alert.
Ooh.
I call upset alert.
Tampa's a 3-point favorite.
Oh, Tampa's a 3-point favorite. Never mind. It's not upset alert.
Oh, okay.
I like Tampa. I just think defensively they can keep you in any game. Baker just something about him, right? Something about Baker that you kind of cheer for him, even though he was thrown in our face at an early in his career because he was in every commercial.
I do miss those commercials when he had the stadium was his house. Those are funny. Was that State Farm? Who was that?
I don't know.
I think it was State Farm.
Those are funny. He had to check the toilets.
Yeah. So I like Tampa there. I think a lot of people like Tampa simply because Jaden is young. And that team will play excellent for 2 quarters and then just lose their mind. and something crazy will happen. So they can compete with them, but I don't think they just can sustain it long enough.
Finally, Monday Night Football
In
moved to
Arizona.
Arizona. The Minnesota Vikings visit. Well, I guess they're not visiting. They're all visiting. They are taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Minnesota is a 3-point favorite. Does that tickle your fancy, Leroy?
Yeah, I could see.
My fancy is tickled.
I could see Minnesota, taking control of this game. I would say, however, if that passing game for the Rams gets going, oh my goodness, it is almost unstoppable. It seems like somebody's open on every play. So, I mean, you look at what Flo's been doing defensively.
Mm-hmm.
You look at our guy, Van Ginks, right? They have a really good defense. If you had to pick between an offense and a defense, this time of year you go defense, and they can run the football, and there you go. Even though Sam Darnold,
he's gonna get a big raise. I know that.
Yep, but he didn't look his best the last game.
That is Tickle My Fancy. We'll take a break.
He is tickled.
More to come after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy back with you here on a Friday. Let's get to our headlines here, which are brought to you by Doral Hyundai. Doral Hyundai, choose from over 1,300 new Hyundai models in inventory, like the Tucson, the Sonata, and the Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. Breaking news in the NFL.
Ooh, I saw that.
Deshaun Watson, Leroy, is back. He underwent surgery again this week because he tore his Achilles again. Not great. How you feeling?
Probably should have gave Aaron a call. Hey, Aaron.
That's like the old John Wall. I remember that happening.
Yeah.
He had the Achilles injury and then re-injured it while he was in recovery. That's brutal, man. What are they gonna do?
Nothing. If you can't play, you can't. What do you do with that number 2 pick? Like the problem that I have with all this is I hate when teams need a quarterback and they draft a quarterback, even though that quarterback may not be,
Well, it's going to be either Ward or Sanders, right?
Yeah. I mean, who would have more of an impact, though? Travis Hunter. So what do?
You need a quarterback.
You need a quarterback.
Yeah, but
you played Zappy by the end of the year.
Yes, you need a quarterback. But if you don't have the infrastructure to have that quarterback come in and play, now you're ruining another career. And so I don't know what their situation is or how they feel about offensive line, receivers, running game, stuff like that, right? The defense is getting older. So if I were to say, yeah, I can get one of those quarterbacks, is he going to be in an environment or a situation where he can come in and be an impact guy?
You guys want to have some fun?
Sure.
Give me a phone, Marcos. Who's the GM in Cleveland, Leroy?
Barry?
Andrew Barry?
Andrew Barry.
All right. Hey, it's Andrew Barry. Hey, Andrew, what's up, man? It's Chris Greer down in Miami. How are you? Let me ask you something, dude. What do you feel about trading that number 2 pick for Tua Tagovailoa?
No. What? He can't.
Who's saying no in this case?
I think both parties.
Interesting.
What? Because here's the deal. What? You have a quarterback that fits the system.
Do they?
Or
they have a quarterback. They have a quarterback with some injury concerns who fits the system.
Sure. Absolutely. But are you willing to start that process over?
Well, that's what I'm asking, Leroy. The Miami Dolphins get into themselves if they find a team in Cleveland
and
is really up a creek right now. They have it.
If you're Andrew Barry and you've heard about Tua in the cold,
oh yeah,
you're gonna bring him to Cleveland?
I mean, maybe he'll be more used to it by the time that goes down.
No, dude, no. Look at all the quarterbacks up north. They got a type of to be able to withstand all that.
So you think he could never do it, huh?
I don't think it's not that he can never do it. It's, am I going to take a chance on that? And I have the number 2 pick. The answer is no.
So you'd rather roll the dice on a rookie?
Or again, Travis Hunter.
Okay, but let's say they're not taking Travis Hunter. Let's say they either go
Shador or
Tua.
Cam Ward.
Well, they're probably not going to get Cam Ward. Cam Ward's probably going to Tennessee. Although if they did get Cam, all right. What if I made it? Let me say this. What if Shador Sanders was going to Tennessee and you were the Dolphins and you could get the number 2 pick for Tua?
No.
Marcos?
I mean, it's worth investigating. Just think about it a little bit, Leroy.
I did. I thought about it.
I don't think you did.
I thought about it. Here.
You're saying Cam Ward can't do what Tua does?
Yes, I am. He plays that position differently. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, we can tweak the system a little bit. Maybe the system is the problem. Have you thought about that?
I'm just saying, like,
another conversation.
It's one of those things. Like, if you're looking for if I'm the Browns, right, and I'm in this situation where
if I'm the Browns, I'm not trading no more damn picks.
Which is a straight up, just one pick. You can get that. You get the Dolphins pick, so you can go to 13. Dolphins get your pick, but you guys also get Tua. So you get your veteran QB.
There you go.
No.
You're welcome.
No.
You're welcome.
No.
All right.
I think it's worth a little thought.
I think it's worth a thought.
This guy wants Travis Hunter.
I thought about it.
Did Tua play with Jerry Jeudy?
Huh?
Did Tua play with Jerry Jeudy? I think he did.
I don't think so. Jerry Jeudy's like 8th or 9th year.
Look at that. Tua and Jerry Jeudy connected for several touchdowns while playing at the University of Alabama.
How about that? Isn't that interesting, Marcos? How about that? So all of a sudden, we got
you do realize, and here's the other thing that you two Neanderthals haven't considered.
That's not nice.
That hurts.
Don't hit me with cap stuff. Just let's have a little fun. Don't hit me
You're
with
going to
cap
be paying $100 million to. How good can your team be if you're paying $100 million to?
damage is done. Well, I'm actually giving you a solution because you're up a creek with no quarterback. So you're either going to go rookie or you're literally just paying dead money to nothing. I'm sure the Dolphins got to pick up some of it, but the Dolphins in this case are going to go with either Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. And I'm saying you can revamp it. You guys have a quarterback who can actually, play football and not have I don't know what the hell's going on with Deshaun Watson. I mean, it's legitimately maybe the worst contract in NFL history. Yeah. So
not maybe.
Yeah. So I'm revamping you guys for almost a win now situation because otherwise you guys are going to get drubbed. You're in one of the toughest divisions in the NFL.
Right. No, I understand that. I'm just saying that I'm not trading because here's the other thing. In order to build a team, you need a couple of years with a cheap quarterback so that you can put those resources to something else.
Right, but you're not in that. You're not really in that situation though, because you guys pay.
But you're still going to need You're going to need some players that are cheap labor. You're going to need that. If I take and I invest $100 million at one position, how good is that team going to be?
Probably not great, but you're in a desperate situation no matter what. Like you're already paying that much money.
Then if that's the case, I would just take my chances with a young quarterback because he's cheaper. But I'm not gonna spend $100 million on one position. You can't do it. You can't.
But you guys already kind of are screwed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you're in a bad spot. The Browns are in a bad spot.
So beggars can't be choosers. Take our corner.
In this situation, I'm giving you guys a 13th pick. You can still get a good player.
Oh, we're switching picks too?
I said it's a pick swap. It's a pick swap. Dolphins get to move to 2. They get Tua. And the 13 goes to the Browns.
Playing hardball here. You're playing hardball here. But I checked recently. I did some research. You know what the Cleveland Metro Parks Zoo is missing? Cheetah.
Whoa!
Come on, baby.
More money.
Come on.
No.
Would you say the Browns are in a rebuild? Like, what do you think? Because of the Deshaun Watson thing, like, what do you think they're in? Like, they just very clearly have.
I think whatever they do is gonna demand that they have cheaper options. With the Deshaun Watson situation, with the guys they're playing on defense, you got Jerry Jeudy. You're paying a lot of money. You got the tight end who's the tight end from down here? Njoku. He's getting paid a lot of money. You got to revamp the offensive line. Guys are getting old, right? You got to get some, a little bit of help on defense, a little bit younger. All that can be done with draft picks.
Frog Boy, I saw that this Reggie McKenzie may be going to the Tennessee Titans as their new GM, who was with the Dolphins for all these years.
Mm-hmm.
A little friendly face there that maybe he doesn't want to go with one of these quarterbacks who people aren't saying are that great. So maybe he wants a veteran quarterback,
For sure.
a former league leader and passer.
Why are you jumping to all of a sudden?
I'm just talking. Well, he's never healthy. He's never healthy.
So why would somebody trade for him?
Well, somebody wants to start off their career with a whiz bang.
So if you have those feelings, you think other people don't?
Dude, I just saw the Atlanta Falcons pay Kirk Cousins off a torn Achilles $100 million. People make decisions all the time for quarterbacks.
Well, that contract, they only have one more year.
That's fine if
they planned on Penix sitting.
They still paid him $100 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
Like you're acting like people don't do desperate things for QBs all the time.
I understand that, but at the time they had no quarterback.
Fine, but they still paid a guy off an Achilles $100 million guaranteed.
The Jets,
and as did the Jets.
And how's that working out for both of those teams? So
when
you think another team is going to then go and sign an injury-prone quarterback?
You're kind of making my point for me. People do reckless things in sports all the time.
I know, but what I'm saying is, you asked me, and I said why I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, because you don't believe in it anymore.
No, that's not. This has nothing to do with Tua. And it has to do with the type of quarterback you need. Like there's no little quarterbacks in NFC North, AFC North. None. Look at them. Go look, just go up the
What am I looking at?
How the quarterbacks are built in that division.
Lamar Jackson's not huge. I mean, Lamar Jackson,
he also runs a 4.3.
He does. He's a super.
Okay.
He's a super
Okay, and he's won 2 MVPs. So that'll nix that.
You just talked about build though.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson's not big. Tiny.
Okay.
The only guy who's really your prototype is Joe Burrow.
And supposedly Deshaun Watson, but
he's not. No, you don't get to be a prototype with no leg.
So no, I wouldn't. If I'm Cleveland, no.
And Baker was small. Baker had success in Cleveland.
He did.
So
I'm not.
Who was that?
I'm not proving the point.
That's like Jiminy Cricket.
So let me get this straight. You look at Tua and you look at Baker, and you say they're samesies.
You don't think they're pretty similar?
No.
Why not?
Baker plays a different style of quarterback. The dude's been playing that. Tua plays a different style of quarterback. It's not. They aren't comparable.
I think they are kind of comparable.
Okay.
Like, how are they not?
Okay.
Well, you just keep saying, okay, tell me why.
They're not.
Why? What's
because
the difference?
The way they play football, the way they throw the ball, it's different.
Because the lefty righty.
You're taking you can take Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield will run and scramble. He's tough. He's been playing that style of football his whole life. Tua hasn't.
Okay. But
you can be the same size and play the position differently. You know that, right?
So you just don't think Tua can play in that division?
I just don't think if I'm trading the second pick in the draft, it's not going to be for a guy like Tua.
Okay. How big is Shador? He's not very big.
No, he's tiny.
It's not like you're giving up that pick, though. You're just.
So you think it would be more prudent to take a rookie quarterback who's also not small or who was also not big, and try him out, except for a guy because Tua does have credentials.
Well, but he would be $40 million cheaper.
That's fine, but a risk. It's kind of more of a short. It is a bit of a more short thing as far as a guy being talented.
$10 to $15 million risk over a $50 million risk.
All right. I thought I was giving you guys a break. I mean, you guys have been sitting here playing DTR and Jameis Winston and Bailey Zappi all these years.
Mm-hmm.
You're scoffing at me.
Okay.
Joe Flacco. Last time anything was cool.
Schmieden says I like how Tobin roped Leroy into an argument for something that will never happen.
I know.
That's why I said let's have some fun, Schmeathan, but Leroy won't let me have fun. He's just like, no salary cap. Brr.
No, see, Leroy, you wanted Tua to get paid, and now you're saying you wouldn't take him.
That's fair.
That's not what I'm saying. Like, oh my God, I'm dealing with Neanderthals.
I don't think you are. I'm just asking a question.
Yeah, this is the absolute dumbest argument for me to say.
So you
think I don't want Tua playing in the AFC North?
Yeah, but then you were like making it out like everybody's Josh Allen in that division, and they're not. Like they're not. Like you probably have some of the you probably don't have. I would say you probably have some of the least physically imposing quarterbacks in that division outside of Lamar Jackson's speed.
The least imposing? What do you mean?
I'm saying from a physical standpoint, you made it out to seem like everybody's Josh Allen in the NFC in the AFC North, and they're not.
No, we'll go. Okay, go. Lamar Jackson's okay. He's got his speed and what have you, but the style of football that they play, with running the football and being physical up front,
right?
It allows him to be successful doing those things, right? Then you go with Joe Burrow. What is he, 6'3"?
Is he 6'3"? I don't think he's that big.
He's not small.
He's not small.
Okay.
I said he's the most prototypical.
Look at all the quarterbacks
6'4".
that
He's not 6'4".
They have.
Check that again, Scottaboo.
So then you look at all the quarterbacks that Cleveland has played, right?
Yes, but your last one before Deshaun Watson was a guarded gnome.
He didn't play that way though. Like if you say Tua and Baker are the same size, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? They play a different style of
because why? Because Baker's more of a gunslinger?
No, just the physicality in which he plays is different than Tua's. Tua can't be that physical.
I don't think people look at Baker and say he plays very physically, though.
He scrambles, he plays hard. Yes.
All right.
I did see a sweet clip of him laying a block like 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, my quarterback.
But I'm just saying. So you have there's different styles of play that you can like. There's nobody that ever thought when Baker left Cleveland that he couldn't take a beating because he got beat up the last year and a half there. Right? And he still was able to, for the most part, play.
No, that's
well, he played with.
He wasn't able to play. That's kind of why you guys kicked him out of town.
Because he had shoulder injury. But yeah, like look at you can say what you want about Russell Wilson being smaller, but he's been playing in that weather his whole career. So yeah, there is a certain type of quarterback that's needed to play there in November and December and January. And if you have questions, all I'm saying is if you have questions about...
You would agree, though, your standard's been pretty low, though.
What do you mean?
For Cleveland quarterbacks. I mean, like, nobody's played with a quarterback. No, I'm talking just genuinely. Like, Tua would easily be the best quarterback they've had there.
Yeah, he would. He would.
And you don't want him. It's messed up, Leroy.
I'm done with this conversation.
Come on, little pig.
That's fair. It was stupid.
I'm
not happening anyway. Take a break. Ask Jay Crawford about it next week, though.
Well, here they say, so Leroy, you're saying Drew Brees could never play in the AFC North. No, I'm saying if you didn't know, if he didn't have all those numbers, right? So say when he was coming from the Chargers and he had an opportunity to go to all these different places, right? The AFC North wouldn't have been one of them.
Would you do Kirk Cousins on a flyer next year?
Not after seeing what I just saw.
I don't think you realize what a position you're in right now.
I do know, but I do also understand this, right?
Aaron Rodgers and the Browns next year.
I would rather
Leroy.
I would rather take a young quarterback and do something that I'm fully against, and that's just throwing him in the fire right away if he's not ready,
Hear me out.
then get one of these quarterbacks that are either hurt or old as hell.
What about a bought out Aaron Rodgers?
Nope.
Come on.
Nope.
On the cheap skis.
You on the cheap skis? You want to take him on the cheap skis next year?
What do you think the cheap ski is for Aaron Rodgers?
I don't know. What do you think he would get if he got bought out?
$2.35 million.
No, he ain't going to for nothing less than 30.
But he's already going to get paid by the Jets.
Yeah,
That was bought out.
That's what happened with Russ. Russ went to the what did Russ get this year?
Because he had a contract though.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying if the Jets buy out Aaron Rodgers and he's
and
on
you're
the
also using an anomaly because they ate more money than has ever been eaten by a player in NFL history.
dude, the guy who's running the Jets has his kids running the team. Like he's going to buy out Aaron Rodgers. He's going to be on the cheap skis. You won't take him?
No, I wouldn't take him.
Russell Wilson signed a 1 year, $1 million.
Yeah, because he's getting like $40 million from Denver.
Exactly. So the
He's
Jets
not
want
getting- if Aaron Rodgers will be a free agent if he's a free agent after this year.
No, I think he's still under contract. They got to buy him out.
Yeah, so he's getting paid. All you got to
But
do.
you won't take him on the cheap ski because you hate Aaron Rodgers. That's what it is. You hate him. That's what it is. It's what it's always been, dude.
You know what? I would love to see what a team would look like if morons like you ran it.
Well, I wouldn't laugh about my offensive line issues, and I would get Eichenberg the hell out of here.
Which is not so. So let me ask you a question.
Sure.
I do well.
If you're Cleveland, what would you do?
I try and trade up and get Cam Ward, if I'm honest.
But that's what got you in this trouble in the first place.
No, what got me in trouble in the first place
Was giving up
paying
all
Deshaun
them
Watson.
first round picks for Deshaun Watson.
How much do you think I got to trade up to move up a spot?
First rounder next year and maybe a second.
What? To move up one spot?
Yes. Yes.
Spot, baby.
Come on.
See, you don't care because it's not you. You don't have any ramifications for making those decisions. So I'm just trying to look at all the ramifications of making ridiculous decisions like this, and I look like the fool because you're just winging it.
I'm not winging it.
Okay, so what would you legitimately do as a football guy in that situation?
I told you who I want. If I can't get Cam Ward, I'll take Travis Hunter.
Okay.
Not sure if I'm a
And
believer.
keep
in
all your
Shador.
picks.
Or
Get a proven quarterback. Hawaiian.
Ooh, Dylan Gabriel.
Oh no.
I'm sorry I wasted your time with this.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM.
Marcos, are you out of your mind?
I could be. Oh, yeah, what I sent us. Yeah, that was gross.
Rat corn roast.
Raccoon roast. Yeah. If you thought the iguana was bad.
Chicken of the trees. Anybody see any frozen around?
No.
Not since Drake came.
Lizards around?
Not since Drake came to the door with one.
Ooh. Yeah. It's fun. Silly lizards. Silly.
Although,
hey,
you know
my favorite thing is
what?
Here's what I have to respond to. Leroy, QBs are ready to go 7-on-7 since 12 years old. Camps, pro coaching.
But
they ain't the NFL, dude. Like, stop.
Pretty good rookie class this year, though.
Who we got? We got Shador.
No, not this year. I meant the one that came in this year.
Yeah.
Caleb, Jaden,
Bo Nix.
Oh, Bo
Nix.
And everybody thought Bo Nix was a reach.
Yep.
He did well.
Yep.
I think the thing is with it really has become your point is sound on the money thing, because it's like when you're getting a quarterback on the cheap skis, it's pretty hard not to be like they got to be awful for you to be rats off a ship on them right now, because it's one of the most valuable things you can have. It's when you know, like this is going to happen with Brock Purdy now. They got to pay Brock Purdy, and they're going to put all that commitment on him. And you're going to have people being like, is he worth 55 million, 60 million? Because that's what he's going to ask for.
Right.
You know?
I mean, but it's their fault that they had a starting quarterback that they haven't paid $1 million yet. So, you know, he ain't going to return no favors.
Especially on that last year where it's like,
right.
Oh, man. But, I don't know. I just think the Browns are in a tough spot because, like,
they are, but because any other team that would have to make this decision didn't have $50 million a year for 2 more years on their ledger. And that makes it more difficult because do you double up to get that position right at the cost of not being able to upgrade some of the other positions on the field? Or do you play the game of let's get the quarterback situation figured out and then let's go cheapies on everything else? Like, how is that going to play out? You see what I mean? So the fact of the matter is that there's a lot of tough decisions that they have to make, but it's all centered around you can't do nothing to get out of this $50 million you're paying a year.
How many more years do they have of that?
I think 2.
Oof. Yeah,
2 or 1. It might only be 1 more year because he's been there a while. He just hasn't played.
Yeah, that goes.
It runs till 26.
So 2 more years
through 26.
Yeah, he's expected to make. Oof, this is crazy. I can't read these numbers correctly, but it looks like another 46 million before anything else in 2026. So I think he has at least 2 more years, right?
Right.
Jeez.
Yeah, he becomes a free agent and he comes an unrestricted free agent in 2027.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, if you're basically on this thing where you're forced to pay him, like the only thing you really could do is a rookie.
Right. But if you then do the rookie thing
or a buyout guy.
No, see, I'm either going rookie or I'm just spending all my picks on, you know, other stuff that I can upgrade. But the problem is that you're going to have a situation where, like a Justin Fields, was Justin Fields really ready to play? He probably could have used a little more time. right? But you didn't have that luxury. So what happens if you get in a situation where you got to play your young guy right away and he maybe could use a little development? There's nothing wrong with that. Like some of your most successful quarterbacks have sat and watched for a period of time.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we'll mix things on up here. You have something else, Frog Boy? You looked intrigued by something.
No, I am excited to mix it on up.
All right, we'll take a break. Back with more after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. We're streaming live on YouTube and Twitch and on the Odyssey app. You guys can get us there, AUDACY, free in your app store. Oh, hello, Jennifer.
Hello, Tobin.
Everything good today?
Ooh.
Everything is good.
You seem a lot warmer than we are.
I'm cold-blooded.
That would make you catatonic right now.
I don't know. It's a big word for me, dog.
Wait a minute. It's pretty amazing that all the idiot things you say, that you pulled that out of your butt.
It's a big word for me, dog.
Let's get the mixed bag, eh? What do you got for us today, Froggy?
I got some more positivity from yesterday's Miami Heat victory.
Yeah.
We got some post-game action following yesterday's victory. We heard from Spo earlier as he described nearly choking a referee. I'm paraphrasing. But we also got a good quote from him in regards to what he feels is Bam's biggest growth. This is Erik Spoelstra.
Well, over the years, I would say the biggest growth is just utilizing his voice now more. You know, he is, as I said, you know, one of those caretakers, you know, of the culture now, and to be able to have that kind of stability, you know, when he's an all-star, an Olympian, and you know, not playing to how he wants to play, and to still be able to do all of that and still be so consistent with his approach, his attitude, his mentality every day. It's a winning mentality, and so few guys in this league, I think, can do that unless they're really playing well offensively. You know, that's what you love about him so much, because when we draft him, he was all about winning, and now with all the accolades, all the contracts and everything, he's still about winning.
Yeah, he was awesome yesterday, especially in the fourth quarter. He started off the game once again just like missing the craziest shot. I'm like, how is he missing these? I don't understand. But he had some really clutch buckets in the fourth quarter. He had this awesome play, a steal and outlet pass to Terry Rozier. So he was good yesterday.
2-0 since he said that we can potentially have a breakthrough game tomorrow. Breakthrough happening?
Well, listen,
it does help that you're playing two teams in your division. I mean, I don't mean in your division. I mean in your division as far as record wise.
Oh, I got
like
you.
Two middle of the pack,
Yeah,
two other teams, right?
Yeah, it's not the most vaunted road trip of all time for sure.
They play the Lakers to
Portland on tomorrow, then the Clippers, and then the Lakers.
Okay, so they'll be in LA for like 3 straight days.
Yes. Which, I mean, I think
if it didn't get moved.
Right. But tomorrow night they take on that rat bastard Joe Cronin, which the last time they played, he beat them by 60.
That'd be nice.
And it wasn't enough for you.
It was not enough. You'll never be forgiven, Joe Cronin. Never.
Pretty good.
By the way, Bradley Beal, 25 points off the bench last night.
He's done that twice.
He has. Your bullying tactics won't work, sons.
I love the way he thinks he can just, whoever he needs to talk to, just yell, "Hey, Lynn!"
They definitely heard him.
Well, I'd like to also, Kevin Durant just tweeted yesterday, "Vibes, sons." I'm like, vibes? You're bullying one of your teammates.
Is he the quietest superstar?
Not with his thumbs.
Oh, no.
What else you got in the mixed bag, Marcos?
There's a baby in the studio.
Huh?
A baby?
Is it yours?
No, thank God. Mine's in the car.
Who brought a baby?
I I don't know. Actually, I don't know whose baby it is. I don't know if this is the cleaning crew's baby, or if this is potentially Miho's baby. There's a 2-year-old potentially.
All right.
Oh, so they would be the
Is
same
it a girl?
It is a girl.
It's probably me.
So they would be the same size. So she could grab his hand and walk him to the bathroom.
Boy.
-1 for stats. That is
-1.
wrong. And you tried doing it yesterday also. -1 again.
No. Oh, wait. Hold on. You want to know who got so offended? Right? I said, hey, Jennifer, you and me are the same height. I am taller than him.
We've already gone through this, okay? I am taller than him.
Okay, but you want to talk about like you got offended.
Good. The lava are gonna need that.
5'10", baby.
Hey, they asked. So
You're
they're
not-
putting two. They put so Marcos. They put together 2 teams because I see the guys over there on the other side talking about putting a team together. And
Wait, hold on. Yeah, question. Are you going to be here? What's going on? I heard rumors that you weren't going to be here. You little liar.
So the exact date of the Lava's next tournament, unfortunately, I'm going to be in Baltimore. But you know the Heat, they lie. So maybe they'll push the game back. You never know. If so,
I'm telling you, if I'm one person, I'm not signing up for the lava. That's old Gabby.
So let me get this
He's
straight.
all in.
You're pulling a Jimmy Butler and you're refusing to play for the lava?
It's not that I'm refusing to play. It's just I have other obligations. I'm pulling an Aaron Rodgers, and instead of going to training camp, I'm with wherever.
This is a training camp, though. This is the game.
Well, have you seen how we play, dude? Is it not always training camp?
Wow.
Woo.
What else you got in the mixed bag?
Jaime Jacquez, someone who's been balling, who could benefit from a couple lessons from your boy in the lava. Although he did say, following yesterday's victory, he's sleeping much better than he was previously after missing those 2 free throws against the Jazz just a few games ago.
It's great, man. I haven't been sleeping really well on those 2 free throws. Been keeping me up. So I think tonight I'm going to get a good night's rest knowing that we sealed this victory off those 2 free throws. Get my redemption back and then, just try to continue this streak that we got going and keep expanding.
I'm not going to lie. I said
In other
bad
words,
words.
so he got chicken for everybody in the stadium.
2 games ago he did. Yeah. The Kings game. I think they won. They don't do. I think they do free pizza. I don't think they do chicken.
Free pizza? That's more expensive.
Yeah, I think they do free pizza. Or
Has
free
anybody
snack.
ever eaten? Side note. Anybody ever eaten Oh, what
Yep.
happened?
What happened?
I think we have, I'm not sure if this is really breaking news because we kind of knew, but I
Mhm.
saw on ESPN just now that Carson Beck is officially committed to the University of Miami.
Wow.
I heard this 2 days ago.
Yeah. I think we all kind of knew, but it's
No. But here's the deal.
Uh-oh.
Here's the deal. I have
Jay Crawford.
No, valid. I have good sources, but because of the sources, I can't ever say nothing.
Tell me, dude. I mean, I know. You could have just told me on the
But
side.
you said something about it already.
No, I know, but you could have told me a couple days ago.
All right.
We were talking about Carson Beck yesterday. You're like, elbow
Yeah.
surgery. Didn't
What?
care to mention, but he's going to be a cane. You're holding out on me.
I wasn't.
Boy.
Especially, listen, his exit, especially when that other guy went out there and started slinging it.
Well, shout out to whichever Cavender he's with.
Oh, is he? That's who he's with, a Cavender toy?
Leroy. Exactly. Big voice.
How could you not tell us? You guys got time for one more?
Always.
Deion Sanders.
Coach Prime.
Coach Prime has some very successful children which could find themselves playing on Sundays. People have wondered, will this lead to a prime time coaching position in the NFL? Deion responds with the only way that would happen is if he had an opportunity to coach both of his sons in the NFL.
I'm seeing from the beginning of coaching my babies to the last walk in the end. You know how painful that is, man, to see that this is it. This may be it. And let me say this before y'all jump to it, because I know y'all going to jump to it. The only way I would consider continuing is that I'm coaching my sons, plural, not singularly, plural. Or I wouldn't even think about it because I love Colorado. I love everything I do. And everybody, well, what would you do? Well, I have to think about it if I get to coach both of them.
Right.
I'm not following them, and it couldn't be like that unless I'm there prior.
Right.
But if I'm there prior, how can that happen? So it could really never happen.
Right.
But you got to think about it logically as a father. Shoot.
Yeah, to coach your boys.
I've always, that's all I know.
I got to tell you, for as much flack as people have given Deion, that's the wrong dude, right? Wrong dude. What has he done? What has he done to hurt any of football? Nothing. Nothing at all. Wouldn't even be talking about Colorado if it wasn't for what happened these last couple of years.
Sounds to me like the door is open for him to come to the NFL.
Did you just hear that? Like, I love the way somebody was
That's what it sounds like to me, dude.
God.
It does not sound like that window is closed.
Wait. He said the only way he would even consider it is if he could coach both his boys. Then he followed it up by saying, but in order for that to happen, I would have to be there first. So it probably won't happen. That's his exact words. And you still just like, it doesn't matter whether the person says it, somebody else says it. You just going to go off with your own story.
Squeaky wheel.
Oh, man.
What?
I just love the way you make a comment as if you did not just hear what this man
I did just hear. You know what I heard?
What'd you hear?
The door just opened.
It didn't open, though.
Kind of.
He said, I would have to be there first, and I'm not leaving Colorado.
No. He didn't say I'm not leaving Colorado.
He said
I love Colorado.
I love
He said I love
what
Colorado.
Part
He didn't say leave. They're close.
Wait. What part of I would have to be there first, and that probably wouldn't happen?
Probably.
Dude, you know what you remind me of?
What's that, dude?
Dumb and Dumber when she says 1 in a million. So you say there's a chance.
Exactly, though, dude.
How do you
like
have
you
a
agree with
family? Did you just wear D down?
What do you mean?
Did you just wear her
I'm
down?
very charming. I don't know what, like.
You just wore her down.
He hypnotized her.
Come on.
It was the molten lava cake. That's usually what gets it done.
Oh, man.
I like how you hear it and you're like, no chance. And like, at first he said no chance because didn't they get like the number one commit? But to me, it sounded like he was trying to leverage both of his sons getting drafted high to one team.
No.
Smart move. Great dad.
Who's dumb and who's dumber out of Tobin and Marcos?
Count your days, Stefanski.
Which one licks the pole? That's me.
No. Here's how you know who's dumb and who's dumber.
Yeah.
Which person's riding in the front of that little bitty mini bike? That's dumb. Dumber is holding on to your friend riding down the highway
Well,
with snot bubbles.
I love me a good cuddle.
Totally redeem yourself.
Can I just say this? Like, there's a lot of things that people could do and either not look manly or sexy. Yep. I have sworn that a woman cannot be sexy eating a chicken wing. Can't do it. There's a level of just, you got to go at that thing, right?
That's why I walked away when I ate that chicken wing yesterday. I couldn't face you.
And then the other thing is you can't look masculine riding on the back of your friend's Vespa. You can't.
So who do you think is most nervous, Stefanski, Dayball, or Callahan?
Well, they already said they're keeping Dayball, so it has to be between the other two.
Said Schmed. Whatever. You can get Coach Prime. See ya, Dayball. Deuces.
So it's between Stefanski and who, Callahan?
Yeah.
I think they keep Callahan because that team was in disarray to start.
But he did give the googly. See, Deion did give the googly eyes when they fired the GM. Things that make you go,
You need about a 1 month cleansing from Twitter because it's too much.
Why?
You read into everything. But then here's the funny thing about our guy. When he gets attacked for putting something out there and trolling people,
he mad.
He always says, "What's the big deal?" What's the big deal, right? But he makes a big deal literally about everybody else's tweets.
I just heard the door open. That's just me. I mean, if you want to say that the door's closed, that's fine. You know, we can leave the Buffs in the hands of Warren Sapp.
Gosh. Okay, I got the word.
What's that?
He did not have Tommy John surgery.
Oh, okay, cool.
And the recovery time is 5 to 7 months.
So he did get Tommy John surgery?
He didn't. He had surgery on his UCL, but
not
he
Tommy
didn't have
John.
the Tommy John surgery.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Carson Beck, welcome to the U.
The old Johnny Tom surgery.
Take a break. Back after this.
Into this house we're born.
Jesus, Marcos, would you rob the oldie station?
Classic.
Riders on the Storm?
Riders on the Storm.
That was an emergency song.
Is that the Doors?
This is the Doors. On this day, last year, January 10th, 2024, Miami Heat were in action against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And Tommy said, let me get Riders on the Storm for the Thunder. So,
well, listen, if Tommy Tog has, there's nothing greater than the Tommy Tog montage.
He's good.
Or the Tommy Tog monologue, excuse me, before Heat games. I'll be on Heat Weekly tomorrow, by the way.
Thanks for sharing that with us for the 30th time.
Yeah.
11.
I'll be producing it.
What time does it start? 10 a.m.?
Yes, sir.
10 a.m. All right.
Right after Panthers Insider.
Do you guys have any faith when Terry Rozier shoots a three, it's going in anymore?
Hey.
Any faith anymore?
I told you about the Terry Rozier slander. He's the only one who defended our boy Tyler.
He did.
Crazy things, if you want.
Also, the most accurate thing he's thrown lately is that punch.
It has not been great to watch.
Why don't y'all think like basketball can is like it has its ups and downs? Why do you think the guy's supposed to shoot 40% every game?
Not every game.
Like he's had struggles, but you play 82 games. Do you think like he's in this position because he played like this for a whole season?
You're right.
I understand how bad it's been, but did you watch that game last night? Was anybody any good shooting the three? They were like what, 11 or 14 or 50.
It was crazy.
So you put it on one guy. Everybody shot the ball like crap.
No, I'm not talking about last night.
No, but I'm just saying in general. Like you don't think, he can.
The one thing I'd say with Terry is there's eventually going to be one where he can't miss. Like there'll be a run. I have to have faith that's going to happen.
Of course, you know why? Because he's got a career of that's what he is. He's lightning in a bottle, or he's not.
Right now we have no lightning.
All right.
It's like a lightning bug. Not a Pikachu. I need him shooting like a Pikachu.
Pika.
I liked it. It wasn't a -1.
Leroy's ready for the weekend. Let's get to headlines. Brought to you by Doral.
Headlines. Now you look.
Brought to you by Doral Hyundai. At Doral Hyundai, choose from over 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory at the Tucson, Sonata, and Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. The Lords of the Portal have returned. Carson Beck, you are a Miami Hurricane.
Yeah. That's good. That makes me feel way better than I did watching this last game with them.
Way better. Now we got to focus on the task at hand, which is fix that defense, baby.
Woo. Fix that. But that's good. That's good, though. We can do that. We can get that done. We can solidify the trenches or something.
We can fortify the trenches.
Yeah, let's fortify it.
Fortify that secondary too. I mean, they were getting burnt. You want to talk about burnt toast?
Woo. Hey, let me tell you something.
Yep.
That secondary spent the whole season like a piece of meat being sauteed over butter and garlic.
Sorry, that was delicious sounding. Got distracted for a second.
Hurricanes women's basketball team has tweeted out googly eye emojis. What do you think that means?
For Beck?
Ooh.
That's pretty cool. He tweeted out just now, go Canes with a U emoji.
Yeah.
Already got himself photoshopped and everything. Look at that.
Two national championship runs with Georgia and immediately.
Hey, I hope y'all not doing the Aaron Rodgers thing. He won a Super Bowl.
2. At least it's not 10 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
2 years ago. Yeah. Still in his window.
Stun Steve says he's dating one of the twins. I know he's dating one of the twins. Is he dating the twin? He's dating
the basketball player or the YouTuber?
Well, they're both basketball players. I think Haley's the one who leads them in scoring.
Okay. You knew what the hell I meant.
But
Stop.
Hannah's
That's why we've had problems today.
What do you
because
mean?
of this right here. You knew exactly what I was saying.
Hannah was the one who wanted to go wrestle.
Yeah, one of them's a reserve and one of them's just a star.
Listen, at least they're upholding the honor of King's Hoops this
How
year.
about this though?
Yeah,
it's not like the Caleb and his brother situation, because Caleb he's had more production than his brother.
Only one twin can be the star when it comes to hoops, dude. The other one is going to be intangibles. Them's the rules. I don't make
Even
it.
with the Lopez brothers.
Yep, the Morris twins.
The Morris twins. Yep, we got the other one.
We got intangibles. But we didn't even get him because remember, Joker broke his neck. Couldn't play.
So true.
We did get that cold photo of Andy Ellisberg though, like keeping the heat from going in the lock. That was good times. Good times.
Chills.
I say though, this Carson Beck, I'll kick this coverage. Oof.
Oh, really?
Not a look at this guy.
I mean, don't say that. I mean, that's not a nice thing to say.
Hey, I don't have to like the way Carson Beck looks.
No.
Somebody who does.
Absolutely. But have you seen Ice Age? Are you familiar with Ice Age? You know what?
Yes.
You know the sloth? Nah, never mind.
Such a bastard.
Okay. When was the last time we saw Froggy on the cover of GQ?
Well, that's it.
Like I say, I may not be the best looking, and so all the people above me can mess with me, but I'm looking down, and y'all getting ready to get messed with.
Shmi the Schmolix is getting paid $4 million. Wow.
Yeah.
Which that's awesome.
That's more than anybody on San Francisco's roster.
See, this I like about college football, though. I like this. Just when you think you're done, boom, get yourself a QB. Yeah. We're back.
At some point, though, like you can do this, but at some point you need your own guy, right?
Yeah, because otherwise you're going to end up with Uyongalele.
Who's still playing football. Dude, he's been playing. We've been trying to figure out how to say his name for like 5 years? He went from what? He went from Clemson. Then he went to
I think Oregon State,
and then Florida State.
Yep.
And
Van Dyke went to SMU yesterday, didn't he? He went back.
Van Dyke earlier in the week. He went to SMU.
Reunited with Rhett Lashley.
Yeah, if you look, he didn't even play at Wisconsin.
Ugh.
He got hurt. Remember?
He's gonna be like that tight end. Keeps his like
9 years.
Yeah, 9 years of Tyler Van Dyke.
By the way, that game last night, they had 2 stars at tight end.
They had no.
That number 44 does everything.
Moose.
He was in the backfield. He tried to throw a pass. He scrambled. I'm like, wow. They go, he played quarterback in high school. Like he must have not been able to throw. They moved him as bad as teams want a quarterback. They moved him to tight end.
They moved him to Moose, especially what their quarterback is doing.
Man, what do you do there? Like it's a kid. Like I don't care what nobody says, right? Like we're all susceptible to making the boneheaded mistakes as kids.
I don't know, man.
He did, but they ain't gonna have no mercy on him. None.
All I gotta say is he's lucky it's Penn State, because it feels like if that was a Georgia or an Alabama, like you can't go back after that. Oh, look who it is! Oh, don't know what team I'm supposed to throw to. Nothing gonna be happy about that valley this week. Anyway, we'll take a break. Back with more to this.
Got with you.
Torbe, te metiste autogol por torpe. Te quedó grande. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. You guys are just tuning in. The Miami Hurricanes have landed Carson Beck on a sweet, reportedly, $4 million deal.
Yes. I love all the examples Schmieden is providing us in comparison to what he makes and other players or people from around the city. Apparently, he'd be the second highest paid Marlin. He makes more than Jaime Jacquez next year and about half as much as Mario Cristobal.
He said he would be the highest paid Marlin?
Second highest.
Oh, to Sandy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't get past the line of Marcos would be on the cover of DQ.
Then we started discussing.
And then wait, to show you how ridiculous this show is, you know what they start talking about in the chat? Favorite blizzards.
Oh, so good.
It just
Someone asked me what was my favorite. They said Butterfingers was theirs.
Oh, I love Butterfingers.
Butterfingers is a good blizzard.
I responded to Butterfingers is sticks to your teeth. You feel like you're gonna rip your teeth out.
Yeah, I don't like
if you have it in a blizzard, it's not as bad though. If you have, but the pure bar, woof.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't even touch the pure bar, but in a blizzard,
It's good. Like, what's the cookie? What's the thing with cookie dough?
I love
What do you mean? What's
cookie
the thing
dough.
with cookie dough? It's delicious.
I'm not a fan.
Delicious.
Not cookie dough blizzard.
Right
Cookie
out of
dough
blizzard.
ice cream.
You don't need to have takes like this.
Why? You like cookie? Well,
Do I like
yes,
cookie
you
dough?
do like
Dude,
cookie dough.
if I could go swimming in cookie dough, I would.
So you like, but I thought cookie dough wasn't cooked.
is that what heaven feels like?
You've
Like
never
it is-
Big Spoon's
Yes
never
to
been-
Marcos, and there's edible cookie dough.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Big Spoon's never been making some cookies, and you just have the batter.
No.
Never.
No.
I do.
Dude,
I heard that was bad though. I heard that you can't do that, but then they come out with all these flavors, and I'm like,
who said that? Who said that? Doctors.
The same woman who told me I couldn't have the light on in the car as it drives, or else we'll get arrested.
Wow.
Now I think about it, dude, I can't trust her.
Is that your mom or your wife who had that tape?
My mom, dude. It was my mom. She told me a lot of lies growing up. She said that she was allergic to dogs. That's why we couldn't have one. She's not allergic to anything.
Don't you love, like, my favorite is when I was younger, my grandmother took me to a Ray Charles concert, right? And I was like, Grandma, why does he rock back and forth? She goes, oh, that's how he, keeps the band. And so as I got older and the movie Ray came out, I called her and said, you lied to me. I was on that stuff. She said, you were too young. You didn't need to know that.
Exactly, dude.
Because nobody, like, until you saw the movie, you didn't really know he was into it like that.
What did you expect her to say, man? Oh, baby, he's on that stuff. Can't really break it to you, man. You're a kid.
I know, but yeah. So I see why your mom told you can't drive with the light on and cookie dough. Whoever heard the story, if you eat seeds, is gonna grow in your stomach.
Oh, the sunflower seeds?
Or what about like the gum? Is that real? Is that not real?
No, because I chew them up. I eat the whole thing, the shell and everything.
Really?
Wait,
yeah.
You don't take
Man, too much work. Once it goes in there, it's not coming out, dude.
That's the whole art of eating a sunflower seed.
This is the reason why Marcos's mom lied to him.
Yeah,
Because
look at
the
what
way
He can't be trusted.
He can't be trusted.
You can't be trusted with facts.
He
We
was doing
can't
too
trust it
much.
with facts.
Yeah, it's probably me.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
Yeah, I've heard crazier things. I don't know. I see it now in my son too. He does a lot of he's in a menace phase. He's almost 2. He's in a very any opportunity he can do to ruin his life or ours, he will. He'll take that opportunity.
I think you're just in a place right now where you go, kids, got to take care of them.
Yeah. And if it's too quiet for more than like 30
Oh,
seconds.
now that right there.
up
So my
Very
nephew,
accurate.
one of my nephews were over, from Mel's side, and he's bad. He was bad, right? And his dad goes, "Oh, if he's quiet, things are good." I'm like, "What earth do you live on?" I say, I'm putting out an APB out on this kid, and I go up into my bedroom. He's got markers.
Oh no!
From I don't know where. He's standing on the back of the bed and going Picasso on the wall.
Oh.
I say, "You see why he's quiet?"
He entertained.
He's
The wrongest
focused.
way.
So I told him, even at a young age. Now I'm gonna tell you, one of the creepiest things ever happened to me in my life happened with this same kid. He was sleeping over, and I rolled over, right? Because I keep my little cooler by the bed in case I want to drink at night. I rolled over and he was standing on the edge of the bed staring at me like this.
No.
I say, "Mel, absolutely not." Just staring. He ain't saying nothing. He was just like,
Eyes wide open.
yeah, just staring at me.
You know what? This is why I don't like watching kids on horror films.
I say, I say, nope. I say, you go sleep in your little arrangement, lock the door.
Lock the door.
Yeah.
I don't feel safe.
Hey, let me tell you something. I don't care if you know the person or not. If you roll over in your bed and somebody on the edge of your bed staring at you,
I had one of my cousins once that out of nowhere, she just starts cracking up like a witch.
In her
while
sleep?
She was in her sleep. I was terrified. I was like, please wake up. Please.
no, I'd be like, our arrangement has to change.
And it was very loud.
If you're going to be doing crazy stuff like that, you got lock the door. Keep them out. Put a piece of garlic around. Say, "Do I need to sleep with a garlic around my neck or something?" Because, yeah.
We'll take a break, play a little "You Dead to Me" to close things out. Back after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Let's get to our Friday favorite game.
Hey, real quick.
Sure.
Jukebox says you buy a ticket, a T-shirt, or anything with the U on it, you're contributing a certain amount to Beck's payday. That's not accurate. NIL money comes from outside of the university. The university does not pay NIL money. It comes from the boosters or the packs that they have set up.
Oh, all right. All right. Yeah.
So if they want to pay NIL, they have to go to one of their contributors and they pay it. That's why I remember Saban was saying, we don't have any money to support all this. He was basically asking them to put up more money.
Yeah. Well, rare are the times that anything comes out of his mouth. I believe it.
I am not going to be the coach of Alabama.
Let's get to You Dead to Me.
You're dead.
All right. It's pretty simple. After last night, a young punk wronged the Miami Heat and Erik Spoelstra because he liked to finagle the challenge rules. And if I could tell you one thing that we don't appreciate, it's trickery. We don't appreciate trickery when it comes to coach's challenge. All right? Ergo.
What about trolling? Because that's real close to trickery.
No, it's not the same at all. It's not in the spirit of the game, Leroy.
Oh, like when you put stuff on there on the spirit of Twitter or
I really don't know what you're referring to.
Keep it moving.
If you heard Erik Spoelstra last night, Froggy, could you get this for me? Because Erik Spoelstra last night was furious with young punk Will Hardy, which is your full name from now on, Will. He was not happy because he put a blatant coach's challenge in too late while Jaime Jacquez stepped to the line.
If the referee places the ball into the free throw shooter's
Don't get me started on that. What are you setting me up for?
I just want to know the rules, and I know you've heard.
I know what they talked about in the coaches' meetings at the beginning of the year, that you're not allowed to do the shenanigans and delay the game and stand in the middle of the paint, tie your shoe, all of these things that, if they tell us not to do that, the Miami Heat, we don't do that. We go stand on the line. Maybe we should start working on some of the trickery. But Brandon did a couple pump fakes, and that gave them just enough time to challenge.
Wow. Will Hardy.
Listen, at least that's covert. The guy's cramping up mysteriously in a 2-minute drill. Yeah, that's crazy.
Will Hardy, you're dead to me. Sorry. Young punk Will Hardy. Leroy,
dead.
Who's dead to you?
I'm going to say this, and I mean this. The SEC.
Oh.
And here's why. You were put up there as the premier conference. Everybody in your conference is ranked, so everybody gets credit for beating ranked opponents, right? Now we get to the playoff because you say the SEC is the best conference and they got the best teams and they're going to compete for championships every year. And your only representation is somebody who was in the Big 12 who everybody said was a garbage conference. So the SEC, the only reason why you have a representative is because you pay the money to come join you. But they are not original an SEC school. And your conference wasn't that good this year. It wasn't. But next year, you'll have 10 of the 16 teams ranked. You'll beat up on one another. Then at the end, when you have a 2 or 3 loss SEC school, you'll say, oh, but they beat 4 ranked opponents. So that's who's dead to me. The SEC. Because they were garbage this year.
You're dead to me.
Jennifer?
I don't have many people to throw under the bus. But I will say, I'm kind of upset with all of you.
Why?
Mean.
All of you. All of you.
What?
For not congratulating me on my 4 years with you weenies.
Wow.
It's my anniversary. It is my anniversary.
Happy 4 years. How the hell are we supposed to remember that?
You're supposed to remember.
How are we supposed to remember that?
I'm like one of the people you talk to like every day.
Technically, you gotta.
Has Marcos been with us 4 years too?
Nah.
No, I came first.
Nope. Nah, he's a bum.
I was on the show first.
I don't know why. I don't understand.
Wow.
I think Marcos has been with us for 3 years.
August.
He been with us for 3 years, but he on that Jimmy Butler. He's only put in like 2.25 years of work.
He wants that max deal. He wants that max extension.
This happened. I don't understand. We're talking about our lovely, lovely JFig.
I heard WEEI is the only other station that's willing to offer him the max, demanding we trade him for O'Keefe.
I tell you what, 940. You better not trade for me.
I'm not waiving my no trade clause for an amphibian. Well, congratulations, Jennifer. I can't believe you put up with us for 4 years.
And then I would put it this way: we just get so used to you showing up at 1 o'clock that
you know what? This is another reason why you're just gonna be dead to me because you continue saying things like this.
Huh? I would say you just ran over us with a train, but hopefully that's not the same train that stops you from getting to work every day.
I'm the conductor now.
Vlad wants to know if this makes him Bradley Beal. I think that makes you Jaime. Jaime's good, man. What a little stint he's going on right now. Footwork, dude.
Footwork.
What do you got, Froggy?
Well, we spoke about it a couple days ago. Right now, the Miami Heat are up in the air. What is going to happen with them? Will chaos return as Tobin wanted? Or will the Miami Heat figure it out? Bam Adebayo, one who I've been very, very critical of, has been more vocal in leading the way and said this game against the Warriors that they played was the breakthrough. Since then, they have been undefeated. So therefore, I'm going to take his word for it and proclaim the Miami Heat have figured it out. We're back and losing. You're dead to me.
Wow. You're very exciting.
Dead to me.
Hey, you know it's also very good. Now, question.
Yep.
If the game goes after 12, is that free pizza today or tomorrow?
Wow, that's a great question. I think it counts for
this question twice before.
And it's today, right, JFig?
Yeah.
I think whenever tip off counts for free pizza.
Okay.
Should I check right now? Let me see.
There's nothing like free pizza. Have pizza on Friday.
Scooby wants some free pizza.
He heard food and he's all in.
All right, I'm adding.
Make sure you get the good stuff too, though. You know, I know this is just an example, but don't rob me of the good stuff.
We had Broward had Teachers Day today.
Was that like a work day?
Yeah, which you had on Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, you know,
I always wonder what they're up to on those teacher work days. My wife won't tell me.
I was gonna say,
did she come back sloshed?
I'm like, yeah, well, you look a little tipsy there. What's going on?
Okay.
Confirmed. Heat win does work.
All right. Sweet.
Get to it.
Love a good Friday Heat win, right?
Love it.
Love it. Do they play the day before the Super Bowl?
Do they play the day before? Okay, that's a long way down the road.
But
Get him pre-planning.
I'm pre-planning.
All right, fair
I
enough.
already know what's on the menu.
When is the Super Bowl? Super Bowl's February 7th?
7th. We're gonna have some hamburgers, some hot dogs.
February 9th, I'm guessing. They do not.
I'm not going. I'm not going to get the I'm not going to get those egg rolls. We had too many left over.
I can bring the ketchup if you need. I know where a good place.
Oh,
that was a one-time deal. I'm never asking you to bring anything.
Oh, I'm just gonna bring it
for fear that we might get ketchup from 7-Eleven.
They do not play Super Bowl weekend.
All right.
They play Friday, but that will not hold over.
I'm gonna do hamburgers. I'm gonna get some of that chili from down the street.
No,
love that chili. Add proper sausage.
What is the schedule of the Heat? I was just the Heat have to be in Philly, Brooklyn, come home for a game against Boston, and then go to Oklahoma City. What the hell scheduling is that? There was
a lot of that has to do with sometimes they have stuff in their arena.
Yeah, but there's not a simpler route like the Hawks weren't available for the night that same week. It's just like it's such a crazy pew.
Yep,
hanging around the country.
Let's see what else. I'm gonna have hamburgers, hot dogs. I'll make some ribs.
Who we got? We should make our Super Bowl picks. Who are you taking, Leroy? Give me your Super Bowl teams and the winner before we get out of here. Official picks.
Detroit.
All right.
Beating the hell out of Kansas City.
Ooh.
Beating the hell out of Kansas City.
All right.
That'd be good.
Jennifer?
I want to say the same thing as Leroy, except I feel like it's going to be a close call. I don't think it's going to be.
But you got Man Campbell?
I got Man Campbell.
Right,
I want them to have a victory.
I don't want to be the same as you guys. Froggy, what about you?
I'm going to go Baltimore makes their way to the championship, but loses a close one to Detroit.
All right, you're all picking Detroit, so I'll veer. I'll swerve. I got Philly.
Wow.
And I got Kansas City, and inevitably the Chiefs will win the Super Bowl.
Damn, the Kelsey Bowl
the first time. Don't you want to see history though? It's history either way. If Detroit or Kansas City wins,
I'd much rather see Detroit win.
Yeah.
I'd rather see I'd rather go Detroit, Baltimore. Then I guess history. I guess anybody but Buffalo, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't.
Think there'll be any shockers this weekend?
The only one I think is plausible to me is Denver, just because Denver's got a good defense. But I mean, be real. I think that Josh Allen's going to run all over him.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
But I'm hopeful.
All right.
But
I think it's unfortunate that a 14-3 team has got to travel around the world to play football.
It's crazy.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I feel bad for Minnesota. That you're 15-2 is the 1 seed, and at 14-3, you're the 5 seed.
Can't be many years that's happened.
Nope.
Can't
it did it with the reason why is because they're in the same division.
No, I know. I'm just saying they can't be.
Because I remember when we were 15-1, people don't realize the Falcons were 14-2, so we had to play every week.
That's a show, everybody. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Stay warm. Talk to you rascals on Monday.
And there was 2 of them. One was living in my grill because at one time I put on the igniter, ran out with his little rat ass on fire.
What? Typical rat behavior.
I'll see y'all when I see y'all.